Let's go, let's go, baby. Come on, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. We are on. Hey guys, how you going today on Big Ass Sport? J-Wiz, baby. We are one sleep away from the World Cup. Oh boy. Oh boy. It is time to get rock and rolling, son. Tomorrow, obviously, we have England versus Samoa. And we have Australia taking on Fiji. That's a hard game for me because obviously I want both teams to win there. But I was very close actually forgetting to turn my microphone on again today, guys. So you can start thanking me. You can say thank you in the chat for putting the microphone on, because one time obviously we went 5 minutes of an intro without putting it on. But today, guys, we're just gonna be sitting here chatting about the World Cup. We'll go through the lineups of other teams. So obviously we know Australia's team lineup came out the other day. We went through that live, but the England and Samoa teams have come out. Both those teams have come out. I believe that Fiji has as well. Let me just go make sure. Yeah, Fiji has as well, so we'll be going through their team. Well, I'll quickly, while I'm doing this, I can show you what I'm looking at right now. Scotland, Italy, have they named their lineups yet for Sunday? No, they haven't. So it's just the Saturday games that will have all the team lineups here. Like I said, England, Samoa, and Australia versus Fiji. I don't think these guys have either Jamaica or Ireland and whatnot. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. So it must be like 2 days out from the game is when these teams do come out and actually drop their lineups. Besides Australia, who might do it on that same Tuesday like we normally have in the NRL. I think that's probably what they're going to be doing. But yeah, obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button. We are super duper close to 20,000. It's ridiculous. Like, there's genuinely a possibility that by tomorrow we hit 20,000. So we'll hit 20,000, I reckon, at least on stream tomorrow night. We're going to start up an hour early to go through everything, but there's a genuine chance that tomorrow we do hit the old 20k. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for new ads here, and I do appreciate you as per usual. All right, let's go see what you guys say in chat. Let's get into it. So Malcolm says, A-League, worst league on the planet. Oh, that's right. James MC Paul said this isn't a Brisbane Raw. Yeah, so look, I was going to do the A-League, but for me right now, man, I'm just not about it, really. I'm just not really that into it. Maybe things might change, but like for me, it's just, I can't really get into the A-League at the moment, dude. It's just taken, I've got to wait for it to pick up a little bit, because I still am really disenchanted from back in those mid-2010s, to be completely honest with you. Dasmate says A-League went downhill when the Wanderers did. Oh, here we go. Oh, my dearie me. Dasmate says Samoa team list gave me another brain aneurysm. Yeah, well, let's go through the team lineups here of England and Samoa. But you are right. It is ridiculous again here with the team lists of Samoa, very similar to what Australia had. But obviously for England, they've got Sammy Tompkins in the fullback. We all knew that was going to be happening there. Tommy Mackinson and Jack Welsby on the wings. No, but actually, no, this is incorrect, because Jack Welsby, I think, is the 6th. So for some reason on the NRL.com website, they don't actually have the number 5 winger there. I think the number 5 winger is Dom Young. So they've got the 14 here as a second row position. It's literally all over the shop. This is a shambles. Like, this World Cup is a shambles in regards to this position numbers shit. But Tyrone May and Dom Young are actually the other winger. I don't understand what's actually going on there. I really don't know. So put Dom Young up here. So the wings are Tommy Mackinson for England and Dom Young, with the centres being Herbie Farnworth and Callum Watkins. Obviously, Watkins used to play with the Titans. It didn't really work out in the NRL. Went back to England. I think he's with St. Helens now, if I'm not mistaken. Played well against Fiji last week. On the other side is Herbie Farnworth, who obviously plays with the Broncos. Really underrated player, to be completely honest with you. And then you go to the 6, which is Jack Welsby, and then the 7 is Georgie Williams. Desmond says, on England's Insta, they have the same team list as the NRL up there, missing number 5. It's really strange, because obviously the number 5 is Dom Young. Like, this is number 5. Dom Young's not a second row, let's put it this way. Dom Young is not a second row. Neither is Victor Radley, mind you. Like, unless, are they actually putting Radley into the back row? Because he's normally playing in lock, and they've got Morgan Knowles in lock. But it doesn't really make a great deal of sense to me. Also, like when we get to Samoa, Josh Aloiai is usually a front rower. I wouldn't really class him as a back rower. And then, look, for example, Junior Paulo here. Junior Paulo is in the hooker position, and Luke Thompson is in the hooker position. It really is just a shambles, lad. So we have to kind of go and do... We had to kind of just guess effectively based on what they've put here. Like, I think Jack Welsby is the 5'8", because Jerome Luai is a 5'8", and they're both in the same position there. So I'm feeling like, yeah, Jack Welsby 5'8", George Williams is the 7, which is a pretty decent 5'8" and half combo there. I think Jack Welsby normally plays as a fullback, but Sammy Tompkins obviously takes that there. Front rowers, you got Tom Burgess and Luke Thompson. Ignore the hooker thing. It's Tom Burgess and Luke Thompson. So Tommy Burgess, obviously Rabbitohs player. Luke Thompson, obviously a Bulldogs player. And then the number 9 is Michael McLaurin, who I'm not too sure about. You go to the back row, and it's got Elliot Whitehead and Victor Radley, but I'm pretty certain this is Elliot Whitehead and Morgan Knowles with Victor Radley in the lock position. It is what I would say, yeah, because, oh man, this is so confusing, dude. It really is. But I think Victor Radley goes to the 13, and Morgan Knowles is maybe a back rower, and then just ignore this Dom Young because he's number 5. At least the interchange will be right. Matty Leeds, Mike Cooper, Chris Hill, and Mike McKeegan. Surprised that Kai Pearce-Paul's in the reserves. I don't believe that's right. I reckon Kai Pearce-Paul will be in the team. So I actually don't know if this is correct. Riley Capps, this is bloody bullshit, mate. The numbers are bullshit. If that's what you're saying, the numbers are ridiculous. The numbers, this is a fiasco. Like, this is an absolute shitstorm. If that's what you're referring to. And Jack Sparks says they are POMs, of course, they don't make sense. The thing is, though, man, that this isn't just a Pommy thing. This isn't an English thing. This is, Australia started it, and this one is just, I don't think that England have done what Australia and Samoa here have done, which I think Tonga probably does, New Zealand probably does as well, but I think that this is actually meant to be the right order, but it's just that they still haven't gotten this right because of these numbers here, right? Because of these numbers, like Tyron, like I just don't really understand how are we meant to, as people who are like genuine fans of the game, and we know these players' positions and whatnot, but they also can play. Like, I'm not crazily surprised if Radley was in the back row, but he's not a back rower, he's a lock. So, like, it confuses me as a genuine fan of the game. How are we meant to get casuals? Guys, Rugby League World Cups are actually not really tailored to you. Like, they don't really give too much of a shit about the genuine fans. What they care about with World Cups is getting in new fans and casuals to say, oh, this looks like a pretty cool sport, I'm going to watch this now. And now it's in England. This is a prime opportunity to get the European audience. But no, this is the time we trial out some new numbers and shit. At least France is in 3 years' time, but overall, like, it's just a bit of a schmozzle, mate. It is just a bit of a schmozzle, but we deal with it, we deal with it. Let's go to the Samoa team, and you got Joseph Suwali there in the fullback position with Isaac Tungo and I think it's Tyrone May on the wings. I know it's down there, but Tyrone May on the wing with... no, sorry, Isaac Tungo is not a winger. Oh my god. Isaac Targo goes to the centre. Brian To'o goes to the wing. This is unbelievable, dude. Brian To'o will go to the wing here. Isaac Tango will go into the centre position. Stephen Crichton will stay at centre. And I'm pretty certain that Tyrone May will then go to the wing. If that's right. And then you got 6 and 7 here on Jerome Luai and Anthony Milford. Which at least is okay. You got Josh Papali'i and Junior Paulo front row. Ignore the hooker. Daniel Levi in the number 9. Daniel Levi in the number 9 there, the hooker role, who I think re-signed with someone in the NRL recently in the last day or so. And then you go to Jaden Sewer and... Oh no, sorry, who's the front... So the front row is here, Junior Paulo and Josh Papali'i. Okay, so maybe Josh Aloiai is playing as the lock, but then again, Spencer Leniu... I think Spencer Leniu goes to the back row and Josh Aloiai is in the Instagram blocker, goes to the lock position. This is a schmozzle, man. Like, this really is a joke, these team lists. Like, these team lists are ridiculous. And then you go to the interchange. Martin Tapau, Chanel Harris-Tavita, Kelma Tuolangi, and Hamisa Tabuai-Fado. That's the interchange. Oro Kafusi and Braden Hamlin-Uwelli. Surprised that he's not in the starting lineup somewhere. Or he's not in the lineup somewhere. I think that he'll probably be in the starting lineup. I just think this is a bit all over the shop. Zane Potter says, let's just be honest. Even us Australians want to see anyone but Australia and New Zealand win. I think that this is a hard one to say and explain, right? Because you're kind of right, but you're also kind of not right. So with Australians, man, we have a really weird relationship with our international team where we don't want to win because obviously we win so much. But when push comes to shove, guarantee you support Australia in the final. Guarantee you support Australia in the semi-final. When push comes to shove, guarantee you support them in the quarterfinal. Guarantee you support them in the group stages. You know, this is the thing with the weird relationship that we have as a country, is that although we kind of sit here and say, oh, I don't want to see someone else win it, it's like when that moment happens, just know that our country will be shit on for the next 3 years. Like, just shit on for the next 3 years. So as much as I get it, it's like, this is what I say with the All Blacks fans all the time as well. You know, as much as I do get it, and I understand you're like, oh, I want the Wallabies to win one time just to make it more competitive, your country, New Zealand, will be shit on for the next year until you can win it back, right? So it's a bit of a risk that you take. You're like, okay, it does make it better for the game, but also you then look like a joke for the next few years because you've got the main competition in Australia, plus also everything's tailored towards your needs. You've got Origin, you've got all this sort of stuff, everything goes your favour, and then still couldn't win the World Cup. That's why 2008 was such a big moment for New Zealand when obviously they won. I watched the highlights again today. I was at the game. I was in Suncorp Stadium when that happened. Heartbreaker, that one for Australia. Like I said, everyone says now that they want somebody else to win, but when push comes to shove, guarantee you it changes. Xbox Live says, do you remember me from Geelong versus Sydney? Good on you, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Bright Robin says they must have asked Blocker Roche to do this team list. Oh, mate, don't start me on here. We'll get to the next one in a second. We'll go to the Fiji lineup. Sebastian Grammer, a big fella over there in England. There's the bombing man. Says, come on, England. Massive game tomorrow. Oh, no. Also, please add in England, Zane Potter, please. For the love of God. All I will say, Zane, is that the only teams I don't want to win is New Zealand and England. That's for rivalry reasons. New Zealand have won theirs. Also, if they have Rugby League and Rugby Union, oh my God. Like, stop it, man. If they have League and Union, I know their NRL team is shit, but if they've got a World Cup, win to themselves and they're holding the World Cup, you're never going to hear the end of it, man. But I will say, if somebody else wins it besides Australia this World Cup, I tell you what, that next World Cup, Australia's going to romp it. Like, I guarantee you, Australia will romp that next World Cup if one of these teams win it this year. David Evenden says they beat the Aussies, Great Britain and New Zealand. They can win this thing. Settle down, David. Settle down, David, on the old Pomerland. Gee whiz. You won't actually get to play Australia or New Zealand to the finals. Settle down, David. Deary me. Too early for that kind of schmozzle. Bright Robinson says they must have asked Blocker Roche. That's right. Eggman says England will probably win the World Cup. That's just my opinion. Settle down, Eggman. Come on, man. Settle down. Come on. George Iramu Jr. says, confirm if Mike Cooper is a former Dragon. Cooper? Yeah, I believe so, unless I'm crazy here. Hold on one second here. Mike Cooper... It's not Mike Cooper, is it? It's 1 second here. Mike Cooper. He's centre for the Dragons back in the day. No. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of somebody else. Hold on one second here. Michael Cooper prop. Wigan Warriors. I don't know. Who am I thinking? Oh, Matt Cooper's who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Matty Cooper. I'm not thinking of Mike Cooper. I'm thinking of Matt Cooper. So Michael said, I have a feeling Samoa will lose due to the incompetence of the referee. I hope not, man. I hope not. Billy Banks' first game should be 11:30 p.m. Oz time tonight. Is that right? Tomorrow night. So first game is tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Australian time. AEST, 12:30 a.m. Muppet time. 1:30 in Fiji, and then 2:30 in New Zealand /Samoa/Tonga and whatnot. I'll start streaming at 10:30 though. I'll be streaming for an hour beforehand. Dasmate says Samoa winning it if Australia doesn't. Oh, that's because he's got Samoa in the sweepstakes. Big Bubba says, as a All Black supporter, I concur, Blaze. That's what I'm saying. Like, until it happens. When it happens, you're just like, oh shit. But before it's happening, you say, oh, I want somebody else to win. That's before it happens. So when it happens, oh boy. Dan says, no, that's Matt Cooper, not Mike. Yeah, Matty Cooper. Yeah. Brian Robert says Matt Cooper. Zampos says that's Matt Cooper you're thinking of. Great player too. Sachin Kelson says get the Poms off the Bevs, give themselves too much confidence. Hey, at least we don't have that Muppet from the other night. Like these guys are just having a bit of a laugh and chatting away. But that Muppet from the other night, what was his name again? Was his name Buddy Mark or Mike or something like that? McLaughlin? Gee whiz. He was something else. He was something else. James says, now Mike Cooper from England did play with the Dragons. Oh, well, there you go. Well, I know Matty Cooper. I don't know about Mike Cooper. I'm not too sure. Big Papa says, last I saw quite a few years back, Matt Cooper was trying MMA. Yeah, I think he does a lot of those game shows now. Like the one that Sam Burgess one did as well. Maybe like a Survivor and other ones as well. I'm not too sure, but he's done something else as well. James McLaughlin, that's the one. Alex Buddy Muppet, that bloke. Hopefully we beat the Poms in the T20 tonight. Oh, we're playing the T20, are we? Oh boy. Dear me. Alright, so let's go look at this Fiji. Well, we'll go through the Australia team again, and then we'll go to the Fiji team, because we may as well go through it. So James Tedesco's the fullback, with Addo Carr and Murray Talangi on the wings. Ignore the numbers, guys. Valentine Holmes and Latrell Mitchell in the centres. Munster and Cherry Evans in the halves, with Jake Boyovich and Tina Fa'asuamaleaui in the front row. Ben Hunt, number 9. Angus Crichton, Jeremiah Nanai, back row. Cameron Murray is the 13. Do not forget the Australian grand finalists in the Panthers and Parramatta Eels have been rested for this game. Jack White and Patrick Harrigan, Ruben Cotter and Harry Grant are the interchange, with Matt Burton and Campbell Graham on the bench, on the reserve, the team's pretty good. We went through this on Tuesday night, though. We can go through it again, obviously, but in the same sense, we went through that on Tuesday night. For Fiji, obviously, Sunil Turuva, he comes into the fullback position. He was not there last week. He's a big inclusion. He was fantastic in that mid-season game against Papua New Guinea. They lost Fiji, but Sunil Turuva was fantastic. There was no Api Sakota in that game, who was at Origin, obviously. There's a couple players out Fiji, but they still had the likes of Viliami Kikau. They still had the likes of Sunil Turuva, Micah Sivo. Interesting what's happened with Ravalawa here, because Mikhail Ravalawa has not been named. Mithieli Volika-Chapani, who is in the Super League, is on one wing, with Micah Sivo on the other. Obviously, Parramatta Eels winger there. Semi Valame goes to the centre alongside Kevin Aguama. I love that Kevin Aguama's gone to the centres here. I'm still not convinced with Siti Madlandreki as the number 6 there, but in the same sense, Kevin Aguama in the centres makes sense, because Aguama's not a 6. At least leave it to somebody who is apparently a 6 in regards to Siti Madlandreki. Brandon Wakeham is the 7 there, obviously, with King Vuniyayawa and Tuikami Kamitha in the front row. 2 real big bumpers there. Bisai Korosau was the number 9. Viliami Kikau and Xiao Wong is the back row. And I do have to give a bit of a shout here to Lamar Manuel Leo Lavave. I'm pretty certain he's with the Tweedhead Seagulls, which is the Gold Coast Titans feeder club. Lamar is a guy coming through the system, and it's great to see that he's obviously getting his crack here for Fiji, even though he plays for the Tweedhead Seagulls, and they did pretty well this year. They did really choke away that last game, but good player Lamar. Panioni Tangitui Mua, who was the hooker in that mid-season test, is on the 14. Jawasa Dorololangi, and then Betty Nakumbawai, Taniela Sandorungu is the interchange, with Natane Masima and Isaac Lume as the reserves. Demi says, why Jerome Luai in winger and Brian Toa in centre? So, like I said, don't look at this stuff. Jerome Luai is the 5'8", Brian Toa is the wing, Isaac Targo is the centre. It's just a Muppetry. It really is just a stupid Muppetry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like here, for example, Ben Hunt's got the number 3. He's actually a hooker. But at very least, like comparatively to what you're saying, at least Australia have put them in the right positions. The Samoan team, as we just went through, and also the England team, are literally all over the shop. Like, they are not right. None of it is actually right, realistically. Like, none of it. Like, for example, you know, they've put Brian To'o in the centre when he will be here, and Isaac Targo will be here in the centres, and then Luai will be down 1. But the only reason he's on the winger is because they haven't put the other winger in. They put the winger, Dom Young and Tyrone May, down here. And then Victor Radley, he'll be in the 13. Morgan Knowles in the 11. Josh Aloye, Instagram block, he'll be in the 13. Spencer Lenny, you'll be back into the 11. Stupid, bro. Don't start me. Don't start me. Matt Cooper's on Big Brother last year. There you go. There you go. Thanks, mate. Crazy Zealand says, what's all the games on day 1? Only the games on day 1. So this isn't like the FIFA World Cup, guys. Obviously, FIFA World Cup has a lot more teams, double the teams actually. So there's usually only 2 games per day. Tomorrow night, like I said, at 10:30 p.m. as AEST, will be England versus Samoa, and then on 4:30 a.m. AEST, 3:30 a.m. I'll probably start up an hour beforehand. Will be Australia taking on Fiji. Those are the 2 games there. So yeah, it should be a very, very big night. And then next week there's a day where we have 3 games on. I think that's on the Saturday night for us. It'll be 3 games, one at the 11:30 p.m. start, plus also the 2 early morning ones. But most of the time, like throughout this week, guys, we're going to be streaming every night. Obviously, every single game. Most games will start at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. AEST, 5:30 Muppet time, 6:30 Fiji time, 7:30 New Zealand time. Most of the days... Actually, no, it's literally every day except for next Friday. No, next Friday, there is not a single game on. George Iramu Jr. said, this Australian team is out of this world. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's the best team I've ever seen from Australia, but it's definitely a good team, and it definitely still should be well and truly favourites. This backline's ridiculous. Like, the backline's ridiculous. The halves are incredible, but you still look at Cleary going there anyway. You know... Regan Campbell-Gillard probably comes in for Jakey T. Back row's okay. Cameron Murray's fantastic in the lock. Tino's fantastic in the front row. But like I said, you put Isaiah Yeo into here. Murray shifts in for Jeremiah Nanai. You've probably got Jake Boyovich coming out. Regan Campbell-Gillard going in. And Cleary going in for Cherry Evans there. Everywhere else, you've pretty much got sorted. Unless they maybe shift. Like I said, Val Holmes could go out for the wing. Murray Delane comes out and you go Matty Burton in there or Jackie White. And we'll see them at some point, guys, because they're going to give the whole Australian team a go at some point. Brian Roberts says, do you think Mal's just trialling Tuilagi? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Especially considering his Game 2 performance for Queensland wasn't great. Joseph plays the proper Rugby League World Cup side, has the lineup plays in their position. Good stuff. Why wasn't Clive Churchill medalist Tino arrested? You're a muppet. Big Papa said, but you're right. Big Papa says International Rugby League screwed themselves with this weird-ass numbering system. Yeah, we deal with it, though. Ravalawa is injured, apparently. That's what I was thinking, Bees, man. Otherwise, he would be on the wing. Timmy Carr said this Oz team shouldn't come close to losing a game. Oh, going up against New Zealand will be interesting because New Zealand had better forwards, but Australia have the better backs for me. But I don't see Australia or New Zealand losing this World Cup, I'm not going to lie. The only way I see one of them losing is if Tonga make the World Cup final and then they're on the hype train, or maybe Samoa, but I still don't think so. I still think the only team that might be able to beat... So this is why you put that in the list over there. I probably would say Tonga have the biggest ability to disappoint this World Cup. They could either really kill it, get to the World Cup final, and then ride the hype train of everyone getting behind Tonga and then winning it. Or they could completely collapse. They could completely collapse and get knocked out first week. It's a real hard one, man. It's a real hard one with them. Lamar Jackson's cousin settled down. Big Papa says, Tosso Vititoso. Timmy says, yeah, he had a bad injury towards the end of the season. Who? Ravalawa? Ravalawa played last week, didn't he? I'm pretty certain Ravalawa played last week in the centres for Fiji. Dasma, we got Brian Roberts says, still kind of Oz B without Cleary Yo and Martin plus Tuilagi instead of Val in the wing and White in the centre. Well, I think that he's probably still... That's our opinion, right, in regards to Murray Taulagi. Like, that's not a fact by any means. Like, that's just our opinion in regards to Murray Taulagi. Taulagi still could be the wing there and could be the wing for the entirety of the competition. But I do think that, in my personal opinion, I put Val to the wing and Jack Whiten as the centre. I think that Whiten is a very good defensive player. I think that maybe that might be what they do when it comes to playing New Zealand. I think when they play New Zealand, they're probably going to throw a Val in the wing and Jack Whiten into the centres because they're going to change this team week in, week out because it's fine. It'll be fine to change the team. It'll be fine. Just don't change the key positions, obviously. Sam put himself, I still reckon England will flop this. Sam Burgess not being there for them anymore is a bigger loss than what people think. I think people watched that game against Fiji last week or saw the score against Fiji and don't realise that that was, one, a weakened England team, but also a weakened Fiji team, very weakened Fiji team. And it was just very, very... how do I say this? It was very, very in favour of the English, right? Like I said, throughout the game, calls in the first half were going their way. Not like that's the reason for England winning, though. They won by 50 points. Like, they killed Fiji. But in the same sense, there's a reason why it's called a warm-up game. There's a reason why it's called a warm-up game. Dad Doug Goose was his second row. Yeah, I know. Timmy Carr says, Campos vs Haney this Sunday. Didn't hear much hype about it. Yeah, because everyone knows kind of what's going to happen there. Sebastian Gomez says, England vs Samoa will be officiated by Ashley Klein. I feel sick. Good luck to you, sir. Good luck to you, sir. Demi says, here's my predictions. England 16, Samoa 32. That's a big scoreline there. Australia 46-12 Fiji. That's actually a pretty good scoreline for Fiji. Like, they will take that. Losing 46-12 will be taken because I'm pretty certain the semi-final 2017 they lost like 48-0 or something like that. I'm pretty certain they lost like 48-0. Actually, let's go have a look here. Let's go have a look-ski here. Rugby League World Cup 2017. Let's go have a look at these little bad boys here. Bang. Guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. We're literally 24 hours away and we will be streaming live for the World Cup. How good is that going to be? How good is that going to be? Alright, let's scroll this bad boy down here. I want to see what the semi-final was because they played in the semi-final. They played in the semi-final. It was what matches... Oh, what matches? Australia actually played Fiji. That's a pretty good scoreline there for Fiji. In the ANZ National Same as Super. Was I there? Did I go to that? did I go to that? I might have done that. 18-4, 56. Oh, wait, no. Okay, that's all the pool games. That's all the pool games. Here we go. Oh, so 54-6. That was the score in the semi-final of the World Cup in 2017. And we all know and don't need to go on about that one. Papua New Guinea did pretty well against England, to be fair. That was a pretty good scoreline. Lebanon, jeez, I tell you what, that would have been one of the biggest shocks. I've been getting a lot of comments from the Lebanese actually recently saying like, oh, don't discredit Lebanon. I'm not discrediting Lebanon. I just don't. I've got Lebanon in the sweepstakes, right? The BK Sport sweepstakes. I want Lebanon to win, but this Lebanese team doesn't have Robbie Farah, and Robbie Farah back then was a killer hooker, man. Robbie Farah was the shit when it came to the hooker. So they had Moses then. They had Robbie Farah. They had who's the other one? He played for Parramatta, didn't he? Bald. What was his name? You guys will say it in the chat, and I'll remember it later. But yeah, 46-12 is not a bad score for Fiji, to be honest with you. Samoa 40-18. Wow, guys, don't forget the conditions. Actually, we should look at the weather conditions. Let's go do that. Let's go look at the weather conditions of this game. Weather. All right, so let's go to Newcastle. St. James Park, Newcastle upon Tyne, and it's meant to be raining tomorrow, lads. Oh boy. It's meant to be raining. 80% chance of rain tomorrow. 14 degrees Celsius at its peak. Just want to throw it out there. And that's probably during the day, right? So tonight in Newcastle upon Tyne at 7 p.m, which I believe is when the game will start probably midday in Newcastle, roughly around midday, because it starts at 11:30. So I think maybe like 3:30 or 4:30 p.m. So that'll be... it'll be sunny, but it'll be 13 degrees. That's today. So effectively tomorrow, it'll be 14, 13 degrees when this game is being played between England and Samoa. And there'll be rain. It has 80% chance of rain. So be very, very careful about the big score lines. Be very, very careful. Wonky Donkey TV says they've named squads like they're doing Super League. 19 men in squad number order. Then they start kicking 17 in actual positions 60 minutes before kickoff. Well, there you go. Argus Mogi says it's telling me the game is at 12:30. I don't know where you are. Nate J says, G'day BK. That comment's gone. Someone's going to say this name. Tim Manor, that's the one. Yeah, Timmy Manor. That's the one I was thinking about. G'day BK. I reckon this is Luai's chance to shine without Cleary. He'll either be rocks or diamonds, in my opinion. Oh, absolutely. And as you guys would have seen if you watched my video about the... what was the video called? It was... one player to watch out for from every single Rugby League World Cup team. Go and check it out if you haven't already, but I spoke about Luai being the one you have to watch out in Samoa because he's a real hit or miss player, and if he misses, Samoa gets tanked. If he doesn't play well in this World Cup, Samoa do nothing. And I don't like to say that, but it's true. Fiji Islander says the Buddy will absolutely smash the Roos tomorrow, no doubt. Okay, good luck. That man says, would the Panthers and Para Panthers play... Would the Panthers and Para players play next week? Yes. Yes, they would. So Cleary will guaranteed 100% play next week. And I think... Who did Australia play next week? It could be Scotland, I think, next week. I think it might be Scotland, or is it Italy? Is it Scotland, or is it Italy? It is... Why is it... Oh, that's the women's. Well, shit, man. Just give a shit. Rugby League World Cup. There we go. Click that one. And then let's go to Australia. Who's their second game against? Oh, my God. Stop giving me advertisements. Australia. Yeah, Scotland. Okay, so Scotland 4:30. Jeez. Terrible times for all three of these games, mind you. 4:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m. AST in Leeds. Ooh, yikes. Holmes is a really good centre, but also very good on the wing. Absolutely. Beers man, but then again, he's played all centre throughout this year. He's played all centre. Samoa and Tonga will rise with the big teams, but can trip up against the small teams. Yeah, exactly right. That's why we saw, and with all due respect to Tonga, and sorry, with all due respect to Lebanon would not be classed as a huge team and nearly beat Tonga in that quarterfinal last time out. Desmond says, Mal's a Queenslander. I'm pretty sure he knows how to keep the key position in a team. I'm pretty sure he knows how to win because Queenslanders win, baby. Don't forget it. Dab Goose says Fiji did really well last World Cup, though. It's most likely due to New Zealand being utter garbage. Incorrect. Fiji have actually made the last 3 semi-finals in a row. The only way they would make it this time around is if they beat New Zealand in the quarterfinal, which is not absolutely impossible, but I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, Fiji have made the semi-final of each of the last 3 World Cups. And don't forget it. Connor Girardi says, Rugby League World Cup will be Australia again. Facts. Probably, Connor. Probably, mate. But hopefully it's competitive at least. Big Papa says, in my opinion, would go with Val. Much more accurate kicker, but Cleary over both. I personally believe they're going to put Latrell. I reckon they're going to put Trell Mitt. I reckon Trell Mitt will be it. Val Holmes is probably a little more safer, though. But Trell Mitt has the ability to ignore... Like, he loves the crowd. But I think that he can do it despite the crowd. I don't know if... Will Val have the pressure in him? Like, he probably does. He's kicked that field goal from 40 out in pressure situation, but... I don't know. I feel like maybe Trell is probably the better option there. I guess it depends on how Trell goes in the first game. Like, you'll see his confidence in that first game. You'll see it. And then if it's not looking the greatest, then go Val. Go Val if you want to go safe. Demi says, I think Conrad Harrell should be on the bench, Pete, because he's old and rusty. I don't think Conrad Harrell will start. I don't think he does start. But yeah, Connie has been great in the past, but he's definitely not exactly where he once was. Dad of Goose says, Farah plays 7 in the last. He plays 7. Oh, there you go. There you go. Ilas Petty Tonga says, can you give Danny Tonga a shout out, please? Get around you, Danny. Get around you, big fella. Dad of Goose says, Lisha played hooker. Oh, yikes. Oh, big yikes. Demi says, I think Tonga have a better chance beating Australia than New Zealand. I disagree. I think New Zealand are red hot for this World Cup. But I still think Australia win. New Zealand's still red hot. Still red hot. If it's in England, it'll be raining. Well, it's not raining right now, but yes, it is. It is meant to be raining tomorrow for England, Samoa. WW Goose says, Lebanon have Dewey and Carraz. I think overall they have a stronger team this time. You are right, they do. They got Dewey in the 6, Mitchell Moses in the 7. They've got Carraz playing fullback. Normally plays wing. So I got confused when I said the other day on a stream that Carraz was a centre. So I remember his debut game for the Dogs. I think it was against the Dragons maybe earlier this year. He debuted as a centre. So I think in my mind I've always stuck with him being a centre. So I'm looking if I have a bottle of water here. Stuck with him being a centre, but he's actually a winger for the Doggies. And now he's going to the fullback. So I do have my somewhat doubts about what he does there. But he's a good player. He's a good player, Jacob Carraz. So I definitely look forward to seeing what he does for Lebanon. Bright Robin says, raining in England, surely not. Wouldn't have picked it. Mate, I tell you, it's crazy. It's crazy. Alex says, apparently Ravalawa is going home after failing to overcome a hamstring injury. That sucks, bro. That really does suck. That really does suck, man. Dear me. Timmy Carr says, any Canberra Raiders or Melbourne players will be right. Any Canberra Raiders or Melbourne players will be right. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Firstly, why are we comparing Canberra and Melbourne? And secondly, why? Alex, that's right. Sebastian Government says, curious as to how many new subscribers you'll gain during the World Cup. You'll start off the tournament with 20k and reach about 50k by the end of it, I reckon. 50k? 50k? Deary me. 50k would be crazy, son. That would be crazy, bro. Imagine that. Imagine going up 30,000 in a month and then doing the FIFA World Cup too. And then the FIFA World Cup straight after. Deary me. No, I don't think that's possible. Like, maybe 25, 30 would be pretty cool. Like, that'd be a lot still. But in the same sense, we'll see how we go, man. We'll be pumping every single game here live regardless. But yeah, it'll be super interesting, man. It'll be super interesting. 50k. We get 50k, mate. We'll do something crazy, that's for sure. Kev's Magpie says, hi, go for the Storm. So sorry. But hello. Trap says, am I the only person that thinks Samoa is being very overhyped and England will beat them? I don't think you're the only person, but I do think that don't underestimate Samoa. I think they're a very hype-based team. You know, Suwali is going to be a good fullback. I prefer him on the wing, but they've decided to go fullback. I actually, like I said before, I would have gone with Hamiso Tabuai. I think this is a safer bet, right? I put Hamiso Tabuai Fido. So Hamiso's down here on the bench. He's in the number 18 there. I put him as the fullback. I put Suwali onto the wing. I don't believe in Matt Parrish, and I think he's not the greatest for the job. And I think every Samoan agrees with me. But Isaac Targo is a centre. Brian obviously goes to the wing there. The other winger here is Tyrone May. And I'm thinking of Talon. Tyrone May could be a back row. Or who is the other winger? Talon May. Where does he play? Is he a back row or is he a winger? Because I'm thinking of Talon May when I think of winger. That's why I keep saying he's in the wing position. Where does Tyrone May play? He might actually play, because maybe that means that Hamiso's there. I don't know. Where's Tyrone May play? I'm just waiting for the chat to catch up here. Tyrone. No, I know it's Tyrone here. That's where I was confused, though, because I kept thinking Talon May. I kept thinking Talon. Tyrone was a 14 for the Panthers. Yeah, but what position does he actually play? He's sort of a utility. I don't know, because I'm trying to think. If he's not the winger, Tony's utility plays 5'8" and lock, so he's not going to play the winger then. So who plays the winger then? So maybe Hamiso is the actual winger there. Because Isaac Tago, they swap. The Hammer will play the other wing. That's what I was thinking. Like, I don't understand why Hamiso wasn't in the team. Yeah, Hammer and Toe was on the wing. That's what I was thinking. But obviously on this website, Muppetry, they've got Hamiso here. That's what confused the shit out of me. Okay, so ignore me, guys. Well, ignore this, not me. Hamiso was on the wing. This is why casual fans will lose love for not support this game, because this is nonsense. And I can't even read it, let alone, buddy, casual fans. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Dear me. That's a good wing pairing, but I personally would put Hamiso the fullback, Suwali onto the wing. Is what I would personally do. I would switch them. Debbie says, surprising how Oregon Kafusi chose Samoa over Tonga. I'm not sure about that. That's obviously his choice. Set 25 says, rare time that Dom Young might experience some wins. Yeah, exactly right. Plays in Newcastle. You don't want to play for Newcastle, that's for sure. Newton Lambert says, Samoa got the firepower to win, but England home advantage and maybe too clinical. So yeah, I agree. The only problem with Samoa is that they are a hype team, as I keep saying. So they can, if they get, Tonga and Samoa are the exact same team effectively. The back line for Samoa is better for me, but the forward line for Tonga is way better for me. Way better than this. I would say the forward line for Tonga is much better. Except the front row is pretty evened out, but forward line for Tonga for me, back line for Samoa for me. It comes down to, if you get one bad call against you in the first half, then a lot of the time the heads drop very quickly. A lot of the time these big teams like Australia, New Zealand and England, if they get a bad call against them, they don't let their head go down. The Islander teams like Fiji specifically, obviously I love Fiji. My daughter is Returning Fijian. Love Fiji, support Fiji all the time. I know what Fijian plays like, and as soon as they get a bad call against them, their heads go right on down, right? So that then prevents you from getting some momentum in the game, and you end up losing it from that position. In comparison, obviously, like I said, Australia, they won't have that. They'll be able to bounce back, and then they'll force a penalty for them, and they'll get the momentum. If you let your heads go down, you lose momentum, you lose any kind of chance to win the game, bang, gone. And a lot of the Islander teams are like that. So if it happens with Samoa here, there's no real play here that can change the mindset of the game, in my personal opinion. You've got your front rowers here in Papali'i and Junior Paula, who are safe, who are reliable, and are going to really run the ball hard. But you don't have a Cameron Smith. You don't have a Nathan Cleary. You don't have a, who for New Zealand? Well, Kieran Foran is definitely a shout here for New Zealand when you say this. You don't have a Georgie Williams who comes on and just safely smooths it out until you get out of this rocky period, right? This is the problem with the Titans over the last few years, right? Is that they don't have someone who can just really slow it down and get something safe going and not be so fast-paced, right? When the other team's on the front foot, like the Broncos game against the Titans, or the Raiders game against the Titans, they didn't have someone to slow it down. So this is what I say. You look over here at England, they've got Georgie Williams. You look at the Australian team, they've got Cherry Evans, or they've got Cleary. You've got Benny Hunt there. These kind of players, unbelievable. Like James Tedesco, those guys know what to do when shit hits the fan. And then, like I said, with New Zealand, who would you look at there? You'd probably look at, I don't know if Jerome Hughes is that guy just yet. I don't really know if Brandon Smith's that guy just yet. Kieran Foran is the guy for sure. Kieran Foran would come on because obviously Dylan Brown and Jerome Hughes will be the 2, 6 and 7s there. The fullback is Joe Manu, not really the kind of guy for that. Maybe Kieran Foran is the only guy that I think of in regards to that. Maybe Fisher. You don't really look at front rowers. Jesse Brom is a good one though, even though he's a front rower. He's a good one to do it. And just get into him and say, hey, listen, lads, just be a bit more careful. Let's not get complacent and stop falling. Just get into line. I don't know. New Zealand might not have as many players like that as Australia. And that's why Australia always wins the World Cup, because they have these kind of guys that know what to do. 30 Brown says, Talofa Uso, get these bigger Samoans out here and smash these Palms, mate. Tomorrow's going to be a big one. Nate J says, I'm back in England to beat Samoa in a close one. I think the Palms will desperately want to win their opener at home. Yeah, it'll be big. Davey says, I think England might win because home advantage and they're more tactical and technical, but Samoa, on the other hand, it's mostly raw power. So it's raw power and it's elusiveness. The best thing with the Islands, right, is that they're elusive. You don't know what they're going to do next. They're going to throw the ball there, or they're going to throw the ball there, or they're going to throw the ball there, or they're going to throw the ball there. You don't know where the ball is going to go. The ball is going to go somewhere. I don't know. They don't know. Jerome Lew, I don't know. That's the problem. It's also a positive, right? A problem and a positive. That, yes, they are elusive. Yes, they are enigmatic. You don't know what's happening next. But sometimes it really works out. Look at Fiji 7s. Sometimes it really doesn't work out. Look at Fiji 7s. I will always reference Fiji because obviously I know most about Fiji. Viva la Mexico for 50k. Viva la Mexico. Gee me. Big Papa says, would have said New Zealand would be used to UK type weather. Oh, not really, as they have similar climates. However, they all mostly play in Australia all season long. Yeah. Dad Goose says Samoa rejected the Johns brothers who wanted to coach them. They could regret that. No, Matt Parrish. There was. I don't want to talk too much about Matt Parrish. I'm not really a big fan. I think that he's got a bit of a chokehold on that team, and it's kind of sad because I don't believe in anything he does. I think that if Samoa have a bad tournament here, maybe that gives. I think that as long as Samoa don't have as good a tournament as expectations are, then I think that Parrish is gone, and I think he'll be really gone. I think that they're waiting to have a reason to get rid of him, and I think that this could be their real opportunity. All right, so I'm back to the Tyrone May stuff here. Let's scroll back up a little bit. Travis says Tyrone May has been playing 5'8" at Catlin Dragons. All the team lists are stupid. Yep. Tom Jones says Samoa should win, but it will be pretty tight. 8 grand final players in the team with finals experience and will be enough to get them over the line. Confidence will be the key despite no warm-up game. Yes, but in the same sense, NRL to the World Cup is a very different game. You're playing different styles. Like in the NRL, yes, they're playing the grand final, and yes, obviously the NRL is the peak of the world when it comes to rugby league. However, like they're playing a completely different style in England. This is going to be a grind tactic. Yes, Farnworth plays NRL. Callum Watkins was shite. Sam Tompkins was shite. George Williams was pretty decent there, to be honest with you. Tommy Burgess does pretty decent. Luke Thompson does pretty decent. Victor Radley, very good. Dom Young, pretty good. Obviously, he's at the Knights, though. So, like, they're a good team, but they're more of a grinding team, and a lot of the guys are guys that not many people would know because they don't watch a great deal of the Super League. They would, obviously. Obviously, the Samoans would have watched how everyone plays in the teams, but it's not as easy as just saying, they had all these guys in the NRL Grand Final, so they're going to win. Dada Goose says this numbering system is the biggest L. It is. Sport Rankings says Taylor May is injured. That's why Hammer is number 18, I think. I actually think that means I should probably go in over Taylor May. Beersman says dumb decision with the numbering. It is. Sport Reaction says how big of a loss is Stags for Tonga? I don't think it's that big. I think that he's had a really awful year. Like, he's had an awful year. You guys know me. I'm usually Stag's biggest number one bloody fan. I'm always really raving on about him and saying how good he is. He's going to take a pretty big hit in regards to my tier makers next year. In regards to the centre tier rankings, he's going to take a pretty significant hit because I had him as an elite centre. He's not going to be an elite centre after what we saw this year. No way. But, like, he might have been able to do well with the Tongan team, but with that Broncos team, he was so hot and cold, but mainly cold. Joseph Play says Samoa has 3 utilities on the bench. Tyrone May is a 5'8". Dab Goose says Samoa's backs are good, but also young. I don't see much leadership in a team with Milford as captain. Would have went with Papali'i or Junior. Yes. Yeah, I don't think Milford's a captain. No, I don't. I don't think that Milford's a captain for me. No way. Big Papa says, even more bigger L than the game times is this being televised on Fox Sports K rather than free to air. That works out better for me, to be honest with you, because that means that more people don't want to pay for KO, so they want to come watch the streams with us, more new people. So I like it, but I understand why most people don't like that. I do understand why you want the free to air there. Debbie says, I'm not trying to underestimate PNG, but I think Tonga would win 38-20 or 38-16. That's still a very good score for Papua New Guinea, man. Like, that really is. That's still a pretty solid score. Like, they will take that, man. Like, it's not that Papua New Guinea aren't going to... Yeah, they'll take that. By the way, guys, we've got 60 people here. Let's get to 50 likes. Let's get to 50 likes here. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and get around it. We'll be back here tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. for a massive night. Massive night. But Papua New Guinea will take that, man. It's definitely not like... it's definitely... Oh, I don't know why I got rid of that. It's definitely not like they wouldn't say, oh, I'm pretty happy with how that one is. Even though they still lose, that's still a pretty good score against a really dominant Tonga team. They are 13-1 underdogs, to be fair. Kind of crazy how Sean Johnston used to be their guy. Oh, no, sorry. I've read 2 comments there. Kind of crazy how Sean Johnston didn't even get a shoe-in. Nah, Shawnee J's not as good as he once was, man. Shawnee J's kind of done, man. I love Shawnee J and what he's done for the game, but it's definitely he's on the outer. Not saying he deserved to, but he used to be their guy. Yeah, but have you seen him for the Warriors? Sport actually, should Samoa rest pants players like Australia did? No, because Australia has the ability to. Samoa doesn't have the depth. And especially, they're playing against England. Like, with all due respect to Fiji, I love Fiji, they're 26-1. You know what I'm saying? And actually, who's the favourites in that England-Samoa game? Samoa are the favourites. There's no way you would rest players in this game. Not a chance. You're taking on one of the biggest poppers in the game. There's no way you would rest players in that game. No chance. David says, glad Blocker Roach is old. 12:30am is too late for him. It's actually 11:30am because we don't live in Muppet time. We don't live in Muppet time. No, we don't. Big Papa says, agreed as a Para supporter. Don't rate Junior's leadership at all. He's too passive a captain for my liking. It's very much like Ryan James with the Titans. Like, I never really thought that Ryan James was a great captain because I thought he was very passive. I didn't think he was really as in your face. You need Cameron Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need... like a real strong person that is going to tell the ref how much he does not like a call or how much he doesn't like what's going on, with it also being with responsibility attached. And I thought Ryan James was very similar. Junior Paulo is very similar, absolutely. You know, you go and have a look at who's the captain at the Storm. It's not Munster, is it? Who is their captain at the Storm? Mickle says, I'm pretty sure Junior Paulo is captain though. I think they announced it, which I already, but the website says Milford, which is odd. I don't really agree with either of them, man. I really don't. Like, if I'm going to pick a captain here from Bromwich, Jesse Brom. Yeah, Jesse Bromwich, that's right. He's a good one. But in the same sense, he's also quite passive, but we'll tell it how it is too. So, yeah, it's got Anthony Milford as captain. If I was Matt Parrish making my captain here, who would I go? You're not looking at the backs. You're not looking at Jerome Lou. Nah, he's too hot-headed. You'd probably look at... Oh, you don't really have a great deal of opportunity, to be honest with you. There's not really a great deal of guys you could name captain outside of him. I think you probably do have to go with... I think Josh Papali'i, maybe. I don't know. I don't think Junior Paulo's the guy, and I don't think Milford. I think if anyone, it's Josh Papali'i. That's who I'd probably go. I'd probably go Josh over those two. Definitely over Milf. And yeah, I'd probably go Josh Papali'i over Junior Paulo as well. David Goose says normally Paps would be captain if he isn't injured. Exactly needed Cam Smith top leader. This is why, Big Papa, this is why I have Cameron Smith as the best player of all time. Because whether you consider him a grub or not, he was a good grub for your team. Just wasn't a good grub against your team. Like for the team that is the opposition, right? And the people who are rating him are the opposition. So they didn't like he was a grub, but that was good for the Storm at the time, Queensland at the time, Australia at the time. There's the reason why he won premierships with the Storm, State of Origin championships, Australian World Cups, Dally M, everything. Like, the guy was incredible, dude. And he was the best captain I've ever seen. Demi says, if Jerome were to flop this game, I don't think they're going to be beating any big country except Tonga. If Jerome flops this game, they lose, but they'll still... It could be one game. This could be just one game, but there is a lot of pressure on Jerome Luai. There is a lot of pressure in this World Cup on Jerome Luai, and you can't hide from that. Brian Roberts says, yeah, Ryan James is very quiet. We can't expect a bit more from his experience. Erica says, George, I'm not sure about PNG's hooker, though, but back in the boys regardless. George says, PNG will give Tom a good run for their money. I hope so. Isn't Papua New Guinea's hooker the Ipape guy that everyone keeps talking about? All the Papua New Guineans keep telling me I've got to watch out for? Something Ipape? Let me just go have a look here. Let's go have a look here. Predicted Papua New Guinea lineup. Predicted Papua New Guinea lineup here. Let's go back. Olam Coates. No, one day ago. Group D preview. No, I want to see the lineup. A confirmed squad to play there. 19th September, one day ago. Try and see one day ago if it has it here, maybe. We'll see if it maybe has it on this one here. Low down the games. Yeah, but please tell me you have a predicted lineup. No, they don't. I don't think they do. Yeah. Oh, no. It's just got the actual just teams that they're sending. Yeah. Can you guys tell me the hooker, is that Ipape, the one that everyone keeps raving on about from Papua New Guinea? BS says Papali'i. Tom Jones says, which team is more under pressure to win game one, England or Samoa? It'll be embarrassing if the hosts lose, but they should go through next stage and try to redeem themselves if they meet up in the semis. I think that the team under more pressure is definitely England. Samoa have a lot of expectation, but also have a little bit of concern about them due to the fact that their spine is a little bit how you going still, and their forwards are decent, but not that great. England are more consistent as a team. I think that they should honestly be the favourites. I think Samoa should be the underdogs. I definitely think that I'm probably going to tip Samoa. I'm probably going to say Samoa win that game. But I think that England should be the favourites. I think that's a bit odd, the prices there. Weather, raining, cold, England, Newcastle, packed out English crowd. Their team's still pretty solid, man. I definitely wouldn't be going past them. But in the same sense, they're underdogs. I think that's a really good price if you want to get on them. But the more pressure is on England, because if England lose, I tell you, they're going to have... English media is the worst media on the planet. The rugby league team is just lucky that no one in England really cares a great deal about rugby league, besides up north. Charlie Collins says, I may be wrong, but did you used to stream the cricket? I will still stream cricket, man, just not now. It's not cricket season, really. I know there is cricket games on, but it's not really cricket season. I'll do the World Cup, though. I'll do the Australian games of the World Cup. And I'll do, like, the 5-day test around Boxing Day and whatnot. And Brian Robinson says, don't want to hate on Luai too much, but can anyone remember a game where he stood up without Cleary? Well, that's what we're looking for. That's the whole point of this World Cup. We're looking for that. That's why I said he's got the most pressure on him, because we're looking for him at this World Cup to stand up without Cleary. That's literally, what we're looking for. I'm just going to grab my bottle of water from over there. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe when you're in here. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm still here. You can still hear me. But yeah, that's no surprises at all that the main thing that this World Cup is going to provide from us from a Samoan perspective is, can Luai do it without the likes of the best player in the game in Nathan Cleary? Now, it's well and truly okay to say that Anthony Milford's not a very good half, but in the same sense, he's not Nathan Cleary. He's not Nathan Cleary, and Luai's going to have to do a lot of work. George Jr. says, Ipape is the one from Lee, and it's from the PNG Hunters. No, I know that, but is he the hooker? I know that, but is he the hooker? Is my question. Rugby League World Cup preview. Confirm squad here. PNG Krummels. No, that's 2021. Or maybe, even though this is in 2021, maybe it'll give me a bit of a clue. Maybe it'll give me a little bit of a clue here. Maybe, not sure. 1 second here. 14 likes away from 50, guys. Come on, schmag it. Come on, 14 likes away from 50. Alright, so... No, Kurt Baptiste is what they've got here. So this is wrong. Yeah, because Dave Mead's... Yeah, ignore this. Ignore that. I don't know how to find it. 2022 World Cup. Maybe this will come up with it. PNG World Cup squad. This has got something here, I guess. It's got something. Hopefully this gives me something good. Give me something good, man. Give me something good. Not something that size David Mead. Edwin and Pape tore it up with the runway leaders Lee in the English second grade, and he'll likely go into hooker. So he is the hooker. Yeah, he is. So, guys, the one that, and this is what I want everyone to know, the one that every Papua New Guinean fan on my channel has been commenting about is Edwin Apape, the number 9 here for PNG. If you watch the Super League, you'd know him from Lee. I don't personally know him. I haven't seen his work. I probably should go and, get some highlights and watch it after this stream finishes. I probably will do that. But in the same sense, I can't really sit here and tell you much about him. But I can tell you that the hype around this guy, now I know there's a lot of Papua New Guineans who don't like the team they've put out. There's a lot of Papua New Guineans who aren't a fan of one player specifically going. But this is not him. This is the one that they're all really excited to watch. Wonky Donk TV says, yeah, he's the hooker. He got the Player of the Year and tier below Super League coming off the bench every week. Player of the Year coming off the bench. Wow, that's good stuff. Brian Robinson says, Milf can't control the game, save his life. Luai is pretty much going to have to be the halfback with that 7 on his back. Milf, yeah, he is more of a 6 for me. Milford has never really been a 7 to me. He's always been a 6, but obviously Luai is a way better 6. You keep him there, and Milford does technically play, I guess, 7. But in the same sense, like he's not great, Milford. It's not 2015 anymore. Dr. Goose says Milford's random midfield bombs are definitely going to be hard for Samoa to work off. To work off. Yeah, okay. Erica Roos says Edwin Ipape is the guy you're looking for. He's good for us. The other guy who played hooker against Oz in Brizzy is quite a controversial selection right now for us. That's the one I'm talking about. There's a big. Oh, Seguiara not being selected is not that deep, Dab Goose. Who is that? Who's the one you're talking about? There's a Papua New Guinean player right now who is copping a lot of flack for being selected. I don't know who it is. I'm going to jump like this, and I'm going to type this in for a second here. I'm going to do this. So, Papua New Guinea controversy. Maybe if I type this in. Tenza. That's the one. Yeah, Tenza or something. Let's go read about this. Tenza, Papua New Guinea. Wessa Tenza. There's apparently a lot of something going on about this. There's a lot of something. I'll click on the news. West of the hooker from PNG Hunters. Lee trio named. Wessa Tenza down there. After 5 years Rugby League World Cup returns, Ultimate Guide. Maybe a typing controversy. I'm not sure. West of the hooker from PNG Hunters. Yeah. All I know is there's been a lot of... I don't know, it's not on there. Anyway, point of the matter is that there's a lot of controversy about that player coming in and potentially playing. Logan live chat Finlay says, is Seguiara playing for PNG this year? If not, I'd say not. No, he's not. It's like I said, it's going to be Edwin Papa who plays as the Papua New Guinean in that as the Papua New Guinean hooker. So that's the one I'm really looking forward to, because obviously I love Mackenzie Yeh. I think he's a great front row forward there. He's the guy that I noticed, but every single comment that I receive from a Papua New Guinean is about this Edwin Apape guy. But then you go and have a look at this Fiji too, guys. Obviously, the guy who really also that needs to have a big World Cup, and he's got a lot of pressure on him, is actually Sonia Turuva. It is Sonia Turuva, which is crazy to say because he is very young, and we've only just came and understood who he is this year. But Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to be coming onto a really young bloke who obviously is the backup fullback to the Panthers because... Well, he's not even really the backup fullback to the Panthers because Stephen Crichton probably goes to the fullback before he does. Even though Sunya Turuva came in this year and went to the wing when I think that he should have gone to the fullback when Dylan Edwards was out. But his man says, Luai needs his back row to be dominant like kick-out. That's going to open up the game for him. And who is that forward going to be for Samoa? Who's going to be... Okay, so Luai needs his back row to be dominant like kick-out. That's going to open the game for him. Okay, so who's going to open the game here for Samoa is the question here. I'm doing literally every game, Knowledge Luke's. I'll be here for literally every single Rugby League World Cup game. I'll be here live for every single one of them. This is what I say about the back rowers, man. I think that Spencer Leniu could be the shout, the question, the answer to your question. But in the same sense, it's still not Viliami Kikau. You are right. But I think the Spencer Leniu, who will go to the back row, he's not going to be the lock. Aloye, Instagram blocker man, will be in the lock position. And Leniu will be in the back row. Unless they're putting Tapau in, because Hamiso is on the wing. So just ignore this list here, guys, because Hamiso is on the wing. Hamiso is on the wing, man. So I'd say that if you're looking at someone specifically, yeah, you'd be talking about Spencer Leniu. But in the same sense, to go on with that, I definitely don't believe that... I definitely don't believe Spencer Leniu is even close to Viliami Kikau by any means there. But I want to go back to Fiji here. Clicked on the wrong one here. I want to go back to Fiji and go through their team lineup a little bit more as well. Because this is going to be a big one here as well, going up against the likes of Mari Talangi, which will be Mitieli Vulakajapani. This is going to be a really, really good matchup for Mari Talangi. So he's going to have to really hope that he has a banging game because Mari Talangi, he's not exactly in the easiest of positions here, man. Like, you can't guarantee that he's going to stay there the entire time. They don't shift Val to the wing and then they shift Jack White into the centres. So you need, with Mari Talangi going against Mitieli Vulakajapani, who I believe plays for the Super League somewhere. I'm pretty certain he plays in the Super League. So, you know, let's go click on him. Let's see if it comes up with it here. So Fiji, nickname Mitch. No, it doesn't. Hull FC at centre. Yeah, so a little bit concerning there for Fiji going up against... Like, Mike Sivo, I'm confident in him going up against whoever. I'm always going to be confident in what Mike Sivo can produce against whatever winger he can go up against. And I would have been more confident in Ravalawa against Murray Talangi. But in the same sense, these guys, although they're Fijian, don't have the pace to counteract Josh Hadakar. And you just got to hope that Mitieli Vulakajapani can handle the skill set of Murray Talangi and the physicality of Murray Talangi. And then with Kevin Aguama and Semi Valame, Valame is a decent enough defender, but also can get steamrolled by these guys. Lucky for him, Valentine Holmes isn't really a steamroll player, and Latrell Mitchell will be lining up against Kevin Aguama, who has the experience. But Latrell Mitchell is the guy to look out for in this Australian team because the fact of the matter is that he is potentially the best player in the team. And secondly, it's goddamn Latrell Mitchell. He can do anything at any given time. Yes, he can go missing, but not really in the centres. He kind of gets thrown into it no matter what in centres. George Iramu Jr. says, Watson Boas can fill the hooker role. No Simpson Safi's brother, George says. You're right. Yeah, that's a big loss there. Wonga Blake also. I reckon if Wonga Blake was playing this World Cup, or even Tane Milne, Wonga Blake would go into the centre position here in the number 3. Kevin Aguama would get shifted to the wing, and Mitieli Vulakajapani would not be playing here. But because of the fact that Tane Milne is out, and also because he's suspended, and secondly, Wonga Blake is out, he just didn't come to the World Cup. That's why this is a little bit of a not as good backline. But yeah, the biggest losses, obviously, they've got King Vuniyawa and Tui Kamikamica there. Normally, they would have Tui and probably Daniel Saifiti in that front row position. King probably goes to the bench. Jacob Saifiti probably on the bench as well. Tarek Sims would probably be in the back row over Sia Wong. Viliami Kikau alongside Tarek Sims there. And then I think Corbin Sims probably might have played the lock position if I'm not mistaken. Or it could just be Lamar, Manuelu Lavave. But I do like Penioni Tangi Tuimua coming off the bench though. I do. Guns 15 says, where's Uarte? What do you mean, where's Uarte? What do you mean, what do you mean by the where's Uarte, you muppet? What do you mean, Uarte? Uarte? It was like 10 years ago. It's like me saying, where's buddy Billy Slater? Billy Slater, he's probably resting putting his feet up right now. He's probably resting putting his feet up playing Rugby League Live 4. Why would you expect Achille Uarte to be here? One of the best players of all time in regards to Fiji, but gee whiz, going back. Jason Summer late, I'm old and that's my excuse. You are old. You are old. Gun says, you muppet. You are a muppet for bringing up Achille Uarte, that's for sure. You are. It's good that they have a little bit of depth with Isaac Lume there too, but obviously Lume is not exactly the best player for Fiji, as we found out last week too. Biggie, I don't even know where he is now. He's not at the Storm anymore, I don't think. Biggie Shack says, have you seen how the Trebojevic bros have been in talks with their agents? They could be looking to leave Manly. No, they won't. Fiji Islander, I put a video out about Manly yesterday though. Put a video out about it, so go and check it out. Fiji Islander says, definitely an uphill battle against an Avalanche. Still got hope though. I think there's no hope here. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm sorry. And I love Fiji, you know that. But I think there's no hope in that game. The hope comes from you have to beat Scotland and Italy. You have to beat both of these teams here. And it's unfortunate that we don't have the two-team lineups here. But you have to beat both these two teams. And you have to beat them well too. Because if you want to get to 4 semi-final appearances in a row, not only do you have to beat these guys, but you have to be beating them by like 30 to 40. And in regards to Australia, don't lose by more than 30. And then with England, obviously beat them by a small amount. Alex says, where's Norm Proven? Gee, me. Why not Marcelo Montoya? I think he chose not to come. Uata hasn't played since 1987. Unbelievable. Timmy Carr says, I think it could be 60 plus. Oh, I think we should settle down a little bit. I think we should settle down a little bit in regards to that one. Sorry, I just got a message there. I think 60 plus against Fiji is pretty ridiculous, but it's not a horrific shout. But this is a strong Fiji lineup with Apisa Korosau coming back in, Viliami coming back in. Tui's still a very strong front rower. This is the biggest issue though, the halves. Look at this. Cameron Munster going up against City Modern and Daly Cherry Evans going up against Wakeham. And this isn't even Australia's starting half. Maybe. It depends on what Mal does. Depends on what Mal does there. So, yeah, and then obviously you look at the fullback comparison, James Tedesco to Sunya Taruva. Like, what do you want me to say about that? Like, what do you want me to say about that comparison? Like, I love Sunya, and I'm always here backing him in. But let's go through, like, player comparisons here, right? So, Tedesco to Taruva, you're taking Tedesco. Adokar to Vulakashapani, Adokar. Valentine Holmes, Kevin Aguama, Holmes. Latrell Mitchell, Semi Vaname, Mitchell. Talangi, Sivo. Probably do take Sivo. I probably do take Sivo in that situation. So, it's 4-1 Australia. Munster, Cherry Evans, not even looking. Trebojevic over Vinny Yahweh, absolutely. Ben Hunt over Apisa Korosau. Oh, that's a tough one, actually. That's a wash. That's a wash, because Apisa Korosau is fantastic. I'd probably say Ben Hunt, but in the same sense, I'd give that as a wash, a draw. Tino and Tui, take Tino. Crichton, Vinny kick out. Probably, that's a tough one. It's a bit of a wash as well. That's a bit of a wash. Nanai, Wong, take Nanai. Murray, Lamar, take Murray. Benches, Whiten, Tangi Tuamua. Love Tangi Tuamua, but I'm taking Whiten. Carrigan, Dorodorangi, Ruben Cotter, Nakumba White. Nakumba White never even got a crack for the Titans. He actually used to be on the Titans payroll too. Yes, Joseph plays. We do have a Discord. And Harry Grant versus Tanya Alessandrongu. Jeez. Harry Grant on the bench. And then Matty Burton and Campbell Graham just in the wings. Unbelievable. Let's do that with Samoa and England too, actually. Let's go and have a look here at Samoa and England's team comparison in regards to who would, which one we would go with in each position there. Like I said, guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Super close to 20,000, baby. Let's get it. Super close to 20,000, baby. But yeah, if you want to join the Discord, Sebastian just dropped the link in the chat. To jump in. We've got a rugby league section, union section, football, basketball, NFL, bloody everything, mate. We've got bloody everything. But I think Fiji will have a decent first half, but get slapped in the second. That's exactly what they did in the Rugby Union World Cup. That's exactly what they did in the Rugby Union World Cup. I think they were led like 21-0 against Australia, or 18-0, and then lost by like 20 points. We played them. All right, so the fullbacks wise, Sam Tompkins versus Suwali. I'll take Suwali. Thanks very much. Tommy Mackinson versus Tungo. Don't really know much about Tommy Mackinson. I'll go to... Oh, sorry, that's a winger. So go Brian To'o versus Tommy Mackinson, and I'm taking To'o. Callum Watkins versus Tango. I'm taking Tango. Farnworth versus Crichton. I think I'll go Crichton, but it's also a bit of a wash because Farnworth is a very underrated player. Wellesley Luai, I'm taking Luai. Williams, Milford, I'm taking Williams, actually. Thomas Burgess and Josh Papali'i, I'm taking Papali'i. Levi McLaurin, I'm taking Levi. Andy Ackers should be here, man. I just realised Andy Ackers didn't get selected. Andy Ackers did not get selected. You are joking me, England. He looked really good the other night. That's unbelievable. He looked really good on the other night. How is Andy Ackers not there? That's ridiculous. Playing rugby since Campbell Graham is underrated. It's good he's got a spot. Well, he doesn't have a spot. He's not on the team. He's in the extended lineup. Timmy Carr's 13 plus Samoa is my prediction. I don't believe so, man. I think 1 at 12. I could see a world where 13 plus is possible, though. There is a world where 13 plus is possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. So as opposed to just put a website in the NRL, one that have the lineups in the players' position. Appreciate that, man. I don't really need it. Obviously, I kind of know where these guys are going, but in the same sense, I wish that the NRL knew how to, or Rugby League knew how to just simply kind of do something that would not make us all have an aneurysm. Society says English number 6 is very good. Are you talking about Jack Wellesby? Yeah, I keep hearing this, Society, so I don't watch a great deal of the Super League. I'm going to be streaming the Super League. I'm going to stream the Super League from next season onwards. But yeah, I hear Jack Wellesby's got a really good bit of ticker about him. He's a good player, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can provide. But like I said, I really thought Andy Ackers were going to get a crack, but obviously they've gone with Michael McLaurin. They've gone with Michael McLaurin as their hooker. Let's just quickly go and have a look at this Muppets buddy link here. Let's go have a look at this Muppets link. Because he's obviously put a link in here and wants me to go read the week 1 team list. Here we go. 0 tackle. Oh, okay. Yeah. 0 tackle is probably going to be pretty good here. 0 tackle. Let's go to this. 1 second. 0 tackle. Team lists. Team lists World Cup. You don't need to capitalize everything, butter. Rugby League World Cup team lists as they are named. Here we go. This is better. Fiji Island says, Jay, try to read that out loud. I just put a website in the NRL one that had the lineups in the players' potion. That's what it said there. That's what it said. My roommate's probably just like he's arguing with someone. He's yelling at someone. What's going on? Why is he yelling out potion? What's going on here? Hocus pocus, son. All right, so in the right positions. Here we go. Yeah, so Tabwai Fido here. This is better. Now you guys can see it. Now you guys can see it a bit better. So Mike Cooper apparently used to play with the Dragons. So Kai Pearce-Paul is not playing, which is interesting. Jonathan says Samoa look like they're going to win. Not necessarily, man, but Kelvin Tuolangi's the back row, actually. So Tyrone Mays at 14, Spencer Lenny back row, Martin Tapau back row, Oregon Kafusi, those are back rows, Oregon Kafusi bench. This is better to look at because it's actually giving us the right teams now. This is a lot better. See, this is what normal people get to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what... It's not hard, Rugby League. International Rugby League Australia, please. It's not hard to do this where we can see the players' names next to the right position. Your Muppets, man. Dear me. Best Polynesian team of the World Cup. Go and look at my preview. Nosworks. We did a whole preview video about all the teams. Did every group. Plus also, we did... do they have any other games here? Australia vs Fiji. Let's just go quickly look at this one to see the actual positions. Sunith Ruva, Volok Chapani and Sivo, Valamai Naguama. This is the right team. That was the right team before. And obviously that's the right team. Let's see if the other one has this then. If Scotland and Italy are on here. I wonder if they have Scotland, Italy. Oh, my computer is like freezing. They have not named it yet. No, teams going to be at 9 p.m. on Friday. Oh, in about 50 minutes time. I should have done a later live stream. 9 p.m. on Friday is when Scotland and Italy, so that's in about, that's it. Oh, no, that's meant to be coming out now then. AEDT, that should be out about now. So any time now, we probably should get, any time now, we should be getting these teams. Teams yet to be named due at 9 p.m. AEDT on Friday, October 14. So we should be getting these teams now then, because it is currently 8:09 p.m. AEST. All right, well, we'll just be sticking around here until these teams get named. You'll just be stuck with me, ladies and gentlemen. You're stuck with me until we find out these two teams. Johnson says Samoa look like they're going to win. Well, it's going to be close, man. It's going to be close. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. It's not going to be easy. England, Samoa there. Biggie Shakes is out to Samoa in England. Who is the better spine? I would say probably England. I'd probably say England. But it's not crazy difference. But I think for the conditions and for the fact that it's a home tournament, I'll lean with England. If this was in Australia, this World Cup was like 2017 in the Southern Hemisphere, I say Samoa because the conditions suit them better. Suali, Luai, Milford and Levi. But it definitely probably suits Sammy Tompkins, Jack Wellesby, George Williams and McLaurin a bit better. 11 p.m. here, so 9 p.m. Oz. No, it's meant to be now. It's meant to be right now. It's meant to be right now. We're waiting. We have Muppet Lightsabers down in the Great State. It's not the Great State, that's for sure. Tell me how many Origins you won. Tell me who's your champions right now, Mother Bish. Don't you forget it, son. Do not forget it. Don't forget it. I would take Braden Hamlin-Uele over Oregon Fusi. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, probably. But you've already got Tapau there as a front rower. You've already got Tapau as your front rower. So, off the bench. So you don't need 2 front rowers. So they've obviously said that they prefer Tapau over Hamlin-Uele. Because usually you go 2 back rowers, a front rower, and a utility, which is kind of what they've done here. Biggie Chase is Domion play for England? Yep, he's right there. He's right there. These are the 2 team lines right here. Sosai Solosi says, this will be awesome. Want the Samoan boys to show up. Great team on paper. Looking forward to seeing number 2 and number 6 for England. Number 2, Tommy Mackinson. Yes. And Jack Wellesby. Yes. I'm spewing Andy Ackers, isn't there, man? Dear me. You'll probably play next game. Probably not play next game. Noel Trick says, you show me Oz versus New Zealand next Saturday. I don't know what you're talking about. George Jr. says Tapau can't play. Tapau can't play? Martin Tapau? Why can't Martin Tapau play? Why can't Martin Tapau play? He's literally named on the bench here. I'll think about that later, bro. I'll think about that later. New South Wales have won more NRL, New South Wales Rugby League ARL Grand Finals. I love how you've said that New South Wales have won more New South Wales Rugby League Grand Finals. I want to remind you that you have the Panthers, you have the Sharks, you have the Dragons, you have the Eels, you have the Tigers, you have the Bulldogs, you have the Roosters, you have the Rabbitohs, you have the Dragons, you have Manly, you have New South Wales, and I guarantee the shit that you call Canberra as well a part of New South Wales effectively. So that's basically 12 teams there, man. You've got like 11 teams there. Comparison to Queensland that has the Cowboys, the Titans, and the Broncos, and now the Dolphins. You muppet. Settle down, you gypsy man. Settle down, gypsy man. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Knowledge Rick says, yeah, that's right. Joseph Players says, but Spencer Lenny is also a prop too. Spencer Lenny plays back row, doesn't he? I think so. Doesn't Spencer Lenny come in as a back rower? It could be right. I could be just a bit over the shop, all over the shop here, but I'm pretty certain that Spencer Lenny plays as a back row when he comes on. Normally he's off the bench. I don't know when I'll be able to see when he starts. Hold on, let me just see if I can go to an Origin period game. Let's see if I can go to an Origin period game to see when he would start for the team. 46 over the Warriors. Penrith, Luai, Cleary, so it's not then. Yeah, Gypsy Man Muppets. Gypsy Man Muppets, Nico. Gypsy Man Muppets, that's for sure. He's a Muppet man, that bloke. He really is. He's a Gypsy Man. Penrith Panthers versus the Knights, maybe. Let's go here. Martin Kickout, Cleary. No, Luai. I don't know. Tyron May selection, big no-no. It's a big no-no, Sylvester. It's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. Don't you worry. We'll go start of June, maybe. Oh, here we go. This will be a good one. Penrith versus the Bulldogs. This should probably tell us. Smith and Kickout. No, okay, cool. Let's just put Chris Smith there. Fisher Harris, Leota. Lenny is still on the bench there. I'd love to know. I would love to know. Spencer back rower, really good on fringes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I thought. Someone said front row. It says prop here as his position though. It does say prop as his position, but I reckon if we got it up, he plays as a back rower. I reckon. No, it's released, bro. Keep it rugby league related, my guy. Don't care about KSI Deji versus Floyd Mayweather's brother. Like, you got to read the room, my dude. We've got a World Cup starting tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, David Tupou says, Ivan Cleary to coach Samoa in the next World Cup. Why not? I think the Johns brothers will do it. Just says, if they get Raiders, we get Storm. I don't know what that means. Okay, yeah, I agree, Jasper. No, I agree, yeah. If you guys get the Raiders, we get the Storm too, then Dave, mate. Queensland have won the most NRL Grand Finals, though, with the Storm winning 4. We know that. Oh, we know that. We definitely know that. Sylvester Lola here says Tyron May selection big no-no. It's a big old no-no. Playing Rugby says, who would you rather win the next Grand Final apart from the Titans? Sharks, for my mum. Tom Jones says, I was very impressed with Lenny for Panthers in the playoffs. Every time he came on the bench, energy. Maybe he's a bench player, not a starting player. Bring him on when the opposition looks tired. If you watch my streams enough, Tom, you'll know that I agree with you. I say that all the time. I don't think that Spencer Leniu is Spencer Leniu and Saliva Havili were my 1 and 2 best 14s in the game this year for the NRL. I think that Saliva Havili is not a starter. I don't think Spencer Leniu is a starter either. I think both of those guys are way better off the bench. Way better off the bench by a country mile. So Yeah, I think Spencer Lenny was a really good player. Easily could have been for the number 14 of the year. I don't even know if they do that as a... I don't know if they actually do a 14 of the year in the Dally M's. I can't believe they still haven't done it yet. Like, bring it out. How have the teams not been named yet? It's 9:16 p.m. AM upper time. Who's won the most NRL grand finals, not including ARL? NRL Storm. Oh, not technically. Probably Roosters then. Probably Roosters, because technically the Storm have had 2 ripped off them. We don't want the Raiders. No, you can have them, mate. You can have them. Oh, look at this Muppetry over here, eh? 2023 memberships on sale. Why don't you just shut up? How about that, Redcliffe? Knowledge Dyson plays is round 3. Spencer Lenny started a prop. He's not a prop, though. He's a back rower. Like, he's not a prop. Like, he barely plays prop. We'll see. We'll see this time round, I guess. We'll see this time round. But, like, he doesn't play prop. He comes on as a back rower. He plays like a back rower. If he technically is selected as a prop, that's fine. But he plays as a back rower. He does. Oh, the team list has been such a joke this World Cup. Oh, Jack Attack, it's been dreadful. It really has been. Just dreadful seeing what they've put up as team lists. It really has been. Like, at least this website, Zero Tackle, gives us in order of where they are. PSV says England's going to be Samoa. PSV, what are you, buddy? Netherlands, buddy, football fan? But I think it's going to be a close game, man. England are not the favourites, surprisingly enough. As you can see, it's not here, but they're like $2.10 or something to beat Samoa, and Samoa are like $1.77. Obviously, Australia, $1. Scotland at $1.20 is crazy to me over Italy. That's a crazy price. Jamaica 21-1 against Ireland. New Zealand 1. Wow. New Zealand are $1. You don't make a single bit of profit if you bet on them versus Lebanon. That's mad. That's mad. I think that's ludicrous. Lebanon still have not a horrible team. That's ludicrous. $1. Like, that means you put $100 on, you only get $100. Like, you don't get anything back. That's just, you get your money back. What was the point of betting on it? That's crazy. He pro the NRL don't start till 2023, but Penrith will win it. What? He pro, though, NRL don't start till 2023, but Penrith win. I don't know what you just said. Society Salasi says, do you have weather forecast for tomorrow? The weather forecast, so BK Sport weather report, I'm just going to think on the top of my head, it's going to be about 13 degrees, 14 degrees in Newcastle, and it's going to be raining. I'm joking, we saw that before. I got the weather report before. Yeah, it's meant to be raining and about 14 degrees. That's England. Welcome to England. Debbie says, if Jerome flops, they still win, but no. I'll read your comment out, but no. Jerome flops, they still win, but maybe by like 4 points. But if he's bright like a diamond, they win 32-16. They lose if Jerome flops, yeah. Fiji answers Jamaica versus Ireland. Yeah, Jamaica versus Ireland, 21-1 for Jamaica. I don't know if you guys can see the odds up here. Maybe, can you see? Yeah, you can see it up there. You can. Jamaica versus Ireland is 21-1. 21-1, which is fair enough. Fair enough. Ireland should definitely be winning that game. Tonga is $1 yeah, PNG's coming from 13-1 to 12-1. People starting to understand. Just saying. People starting to see it. One says England takes the W then if it's raining. Like I said, I agree. I think the weather conditions probably... I think that England should be favourites. I can't believe England aren't favourites. Like, I cannot believe that England are not favourites right now. That's mad to me. That's mad. Special Gary says also you don't make any money on Ireland versus Jamaica. Ridiculous as well. You do actually. You put $1 billion on that, and you probably get back like $100. You bet $1 billion, and you make like $100, maybe $2, maybe $2.50. Playing rugby. If Jamaica beat Ireland, I will force myself to listen to the stupid Dolphins song. If Jamaica beat Ireland, I'll force myself to listen to this. There's a Dolphins song? Oh no. There's not. There's not a Dolphins song. No, there's not. I really want to hear this, but I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'll listen to it afterwards. Oh, you're joking. Society Solossi said that's bad for Samoa. Worth a bet on England? Absolutely, they went into the underdogs. Yeah, they are. It's definitely worth a bet. Baby Shark, definitely right, Jay. PSV's Tonga's making semi at least. I believe you're probably right, but they could also, if Samoa comes second in their group and England come first, and Tonga come first in their group, they play Samoa Tonga in that first quarter final, and anyone can win that game. So it's an issue, you know. It's not that guaranteed that either of those teams go to the semi, because if Samoa loses to England tomorrow, and then they win the next 2 games, they'll come second because England will win all 3. And then Tonga, if they beat Papua New Guinea, they'll win all 3, which will mean that Tonga would play Samoa in the first quarterfinal, which would blow the roof off of the rugby league community. It's just so unfortunate that this World Cup's in England. If this World Cup was in Australia, this World Cup numbers would be wild. The numbers of this World Cup would be gigantic if this was at a regular time, but because it's obviously in England and it benefits Europeans, it'll have decent numbers, but it won't be anywhere near as big as it would have been if it were down here in the Southern Hemisphere. Best Sport 2.0 says, thoughts on Fiji's chances after all those players pulled out? Fiji were never going to win the World Cup. One says, Jamaica lost their warm to Cumbria. Cumbria aren't even ranked in the international rankings. That's mad. I didn't even know that. I don't even know who Cumbria are. David Telpo says, New Zealand would be fantastic with the England weather when the weather here in New Zealand is the same over there. What? It rains all the time in New Zealand, does it? I know the actual coolness of it all, yeah, but does it rain all the time over there in New Zealand as well? I didn't know you Kiwis had a lot of rain. Sebastian says, Cumbria are an English county. So Jamaica lost to an English county. That's mad. That's unbelievable. That's ridiculous. That should be illegal. We've got a team that is currently competing. So you're telling me it's basically like Australia in the FIFA World Cup losing to the buddy. What's those Galapagos Islands? It's just silly. It's silly that Jamaica are here. They're going to get humiliated. Lucky they only play Ireland first up, but they're going to have to go through New Zealand and Lebanon. They're going to have to go through New Zealand and Lebanon, which is just insane. They're going to get absolutely punched right in the mouth. They will. Tonga PNG lineups named yet? No. Actually, we'll go see what time it's meant to be lined up, though. Maybe it might be tonight, or it could be tomorrow. Let's quickly check if this has been named yet. Let's just quickly check if these have been named. And still nothing. Still nada. Teams yet to be named. Well, you suck. New Zealand, Lebanon is meant to come out at... we're still waiting here. New Zealand, Lebanon is meant to come out at 9 p.m. on Friday. All these teams are meant to be out right now. It is 9:23 Muppet time. And it says 9 p.m. Muppet time. 2 days before the game. Midday. Teams must be named by midday local time, 9 p.m. 2 days before the game. Okay. France versus Greece. Yeah, so this is going to be... This will be on Saturday. Yeah. So Tonga's team lineup will get named on Saturday versus Papua New Guinea. Welcome to the early time slot, guys, because that PNG versus Tonga game is going to be on at a raucous time. That's going to be on at 4:30 in the morning, Wednesday, 4:30 in the morning. If for you guys in Tonga, I think that's 6:30 a.m. Fiji, no, sorry, 7:30 a.m. Fiji, 6:30 a.m. and Muppet time, 5:30 a.m. Not sure FIFA World Cup is at such a good time right after the Rugby League World Cup. Literally directly after, 2 days after the final of the Rugby League World Cup is when the FIFA World Cup starts. But yeah, so this will be on Sunday. 9 p.m. Sunday is when the Tonga versus Papua New Guinea lineups will come out there. Tom Jones says Jamaica will be the new cool runnings. Will be a good experience for them though. Oh yeah, you wait till you see them get beaten by 100 in every game and then we'll see how much of a good experience it was. It'll be fun to watch them, but also it's going to be because they're going to get absolutely punched in the mouth in every game. They win a single game and they'll be partying in Jamaica until 2040. Fiji Islander says there was a fee. That was Fiji should have done. Play a team like the Giants just for a win and a boost of confidence. Yeah, fair. That's a good call. But in the same sense, Fiji don't want to do that because they want to play a legitimate team. PSV says England has beaten Samoa 23-16. Not a bad shout. Field goal I wouldn't necessarily expect in a rainy impacted game. Sylvester Lola here says player of the tournament. So I did a players to watch video the other day on the channel, so you should go. I did a players watch from every single team. Go and watch it after this stream finishes. We'll probably go on this stream for another 35 minutes and then we'll jump off. But there's a stream a video where I put out a player from each team. So I think that you'll probably be looking at a guy like Latrell Mitchell for Australia. I think to be fair, for New Zealand it's not going to be Sebastian, but I think if you're going to look at a player from New Zealand, it's probably going to be a guy like Joe Manu, obviously, or even a Jerome Hughes. You go to England, and it's going to be Sammy Tompkins. I think Sam Tompkins is going to be the real big killer here for England if they're going to get something going. For Tonga, it'd be... For Tonga, I really could see it being Dave. Big Dave Fafita. But I'll look at someone in the spine, and you'll probably go with Siliva Havili, because he needs to have a really big hooker role. He really needs to be good in that hooker role. He does. Because I don't really like your halves. I don't like Tonga's, or not yours, but just Tonga's halves. And then for Samoa, it's going to have to be Jerome Luai. Have to be. QFT says, Island teams, although solid on paper, lack stability and leadership role when required at crucial moments of the game. Absolutely. Yep. Don't disagree with that at all. I always say that. Society obviously says, England, Samoa, Tonga is a coin toss if wet weather could be decided by a long kicking game, which England will possess better. If New Zealand can win 50 plus against lead Ryans, they've got a chance to get 100. Lead Ryans are a domestic team, which is, I guess, better than Jamaica, but in the same sense, New Zealand have a chance to get 100 against Jamaica for sure, absolutely. Probably do, I'd say. Probably do get 100. I honestly, if New Zealand do go out there and play their full capacity game, which I do highly doubt, they'll probably slow it down a little bit, but in the same sense, they'll still win by 80 plus, and they have an opportunity to win by 100 plus. Actually, that's a good question. What is the highest score? Let's have a look. What is the highest rugby league, highest international rugby league score? All right, let's get this up here. Let's change this back over here. Guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. Highest international rugby league score. Oh, that's news. Let's go to all. Was by 110. Lovely. Was by Australia. 110 is what Australia scored. Who against? Title rate, 73.3%. Incorrect. They've never won a World Cup. That was not when it was professional. We beat Russia in 2000, 110-4. Holy shit. 110-4. Why'd they concede? What team would have that been? That would have been... Andrew Johns would have been in that team. Chief Harrigan would be in that team. Who else would be in that team? I'm thinking of Knights players there. You would have had Alfie. Would Alfie Langer been there? The big old Alf. Hindmarsh, yeah. Rory Collins, yeah. Nathan Hindmarsh would have been there. Yeah, Russia do play rugby league, Alex. They're a bit preoccupied right now to be playing rugby league, but they do play rugby league. They do. Jay Hayes says, hit that like button if you just joined in. Also, subscribe to Talk and Chat. So close to 20k. Hit that big old subscribe button. Just do it, son. Just do it. Dave Fafita is smoky for top try scorer. It is a smoky best sport 2.0. It's definitely a smoky. Society Saylosi says, after your comments, I had a look at Isaiah Katoa. Could be a start of a big career. I think that he should be starting. I think he should be in the team. I do. I think he should be in the team, absolutely. PSV says, I agree. Tonga's young core could be good if they work hard. Yeah, absolutely. One says, Kola, Amon, Katoa, and Sonny Luke, Taniela Otokolo, Tonga spine in the future could potentially be fixed by next World Cup if they play to their potential. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't. I would love to like it, but I don't believe in Amon. I don't believe in Amon specifically. So, I would say no. I think you need a better player than Amon. I've never really seen the hype in Amon. Maybe that's just because the Dragons are shy and they're really boring and he doesn't get to play well. But I like Kola. I like Tolotau Kola. I do like Isaiah Katoa. Don't know an unbelievable amount about Sonny Luke or Taniela Otokolo, though. So it's really just Amon that really weakens that out. But I just think that you're still in 2025, right? The next World Cup, which is in France. You've got you're saying a spine of Kola, Amone, Katoa, and maybe, let's go Sonny Luke, right? Then compare that to the spine of Australia in 2025, which would more than likely be, if not Tedesco, if he's not there, which he probably is, but if not Tedesco, you'll have either Ryan Pappenhausen, or Latrell Mitchell, or Tom Trbojevic, if he's fit and healthy. Probably Tommy T, if he's fit and healthy. But Ryan Pappenhausen's a very, very, very good shout there. And then you've got in the 6, you'll still have Cameron Munster. In the 7, you'll still have Nathan Cleary. And the 9, you'll probably have Harry Grant. With Cookie might not be there. Cookie and Ben Hunt will be a bit older then. I'd probably say Harry Grant for sure would be the number 9. I don't know who would be the next 9 coming through, though, realistically. in that level, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think Reid Marnie is that level. PSV says, I agree Tonga's young core could be good if they work hard. Yeah. Playing Rugby says, Tigers right now, hey, we're a good team. No, you're not. Fletcher, oh yeah, that's right. Demi says, Amon should rest and leave Katoa for this game against PNG. Tom Jones says, I would start CHT instead of Milford. He's probably the Warriors' most consistent player despite being in a useless team. Milford has confidence issues. His head dropped after one bad play. Yes, absolutely. But also, Harris Avita, not fully in the game. He's not fully there right now. Because he wants to leave Rugby League for the time being and do some book running, stuff like that. I agree that's better than this spine, Juana. I do. I agree that's better than this spine. But I wouldn't say it's fixed it. AJL says, do you think Brimdog Millionaire will be the 2025? I don't believe so. I love Brimdog Millionaire, and you know I'm always backing in how underrated he is. I think he's a great player, the Brimdog Millionaire, but I don't think he'll ever be able to overtake in regards to, for example, right? He'll play for the 6th role at the Titans heavy. So next year, Jaden Campbell's going to be the fullback, I would assume. So that means that Brimdog Millionaire either goes to the centres or he goes to the 5'8". It depends if they go with Kieran Foran in the 5'8", and then they put in the 7. Then they put in the 7, what's it called? Sorry, I just got a message. Hold on, let's just look at this. And then they put in the 7. Anyway, 6. Let's go back to it. So I got distracted there. In the 6, move my phone away from me. I hate saying that. In the 6 would be Kieran Foran or Tanner Boyd / Toby Sexton. If they don't do that, they put Brimo into the 6, and then they put Kieran Foran into the 7, which is more than likely what they're probably going to do at this point, unless they put Tanner Boyd there, because I don't know if Toby's in the near future plans as we speak based on the season. And then the 9 obviously goes to Sammy Verrills. So Brimo's only going to be a fullback, so he's not going to get to the fullback role anyway. David Turpo said, I know that was really hard to understand, but I got distracted halfway through. David Turpo says, which match wouldn't you be looking forward to this week, knowing it would be boring to watch? Oh, there'll be plenty. Well, I probably would go with... it's probably going to be Wales, Cook Islands, I'd say. I'd say it's this little bad boy here. It'd be Wales, Cook Islands. That'll be a shocking game. I don't think many people would give too much shit about that. Black Punisher says, are you streaming the game live at all? Sorry for asking. Mate, I'll be streaming literally every single game here, Black Punisher. I'll be here for literally every single game. Literally every single game. PSV says, England and Australia in the finals if only Katoni played. I know what that means. Society Solossi says, Tessie New needs to come to the spine and maybe Stags as well as running half. I'm not a big fan of Tessie New. I know what Stags can produce, but I don't think Stags really does it too much either. I don't really think Stags does this year anyway. He's been pretty average this year. So we're still waiting here for these other team lineups to come out here, Scotland versus Italy and whatnot. Hopefully it comes out soon. I'll try refresh it. Maybe that might be the issue. But they were meant to come out about half an hour ago. But it's not come out. It's not come out. Dear me. Sylvester Lola here says, Tonga spine will be the Achilles heel. Absolutely. They're managing their pool play, but will struggle once the quarterfinals arrive. So like I said, yeah, it hasn't come out yet. So like I said with Tonga, and this is with Samoa as well, and this is with Fiji, Papua New Guinea, all the Islander teams, they lack in their spine. So like I said with Tonga, they will more than likely play Samoa in the Cook Island, Samoa in the quarterfinals. More than likely, because even though Samoa's the favourite against England, I honestly am going to put money on England to win tomorrow night. So I feel like that means that Samoa goes to second, then Tonga more than likely get first in their group, which means that they play the second place of Samoa-England group. Meaning quarterfinal, Samoa-Tonga. That'll be huge. That'll be absolutely huge. And then, yeah, that'll be an interesting game. But then they'll have to play England in the next game anyway, because England will beat Papua New Guinea. More than likely, that'll be interesting if Papua New Guinea could sneak something there. Big Bash King says, would you like to see a Tasmanian NRL team? I would rather see a Perth team first. I think Perth is the next reliable option to go with, and I think Perth is the next sensible option to go with. Obviously, I'm not against promoting the game anywhere, whether it be South Australia, Northern Territory, Tasmania. No more Queensland teams for the time being. Definitely not North Sydney Bears, your Muppets, your Dogs. Settle down, get out of here. You're not coming back in because we don't want another Sydney team. A second New Zealand team is not worthwhile right now because of the fact that Warriors have been so unsuccessful for so long. Obviously, Papua New Guinea, they've officially applied with the 18th licence too. And then a Pacific team is on the cards too. But I think Pacific team is a little bit too early. I think leave the Fiji Koviti Silktails for a little bit in the New South Wales Cup. Let them go. Obviously, you've got the Fiji and Drua in the Rugby Union doing its thing right now. They're building. So I think that maybe a Pacific team is still probably about 15, 20 years away. I think Papua New Guinea is a shout, but I do really like the fact that they're probably going to go to Perth first. I do. I feel like that's what they're going to do. Jared Troy says, Channel 9 showing the games. No, I think it's just on KO. No. Riley Capps says, Bears but relocated. I think you don't realise what that means, though. So, by adding in the Bears, man, and this is why I hate the Bears. Like, I hate the Bears. They're on a very similar level to the Broncos for me. Is because this scumbag club just always tries to attach their name to another club. And effectively what they're trying to do is get into the NRL, have a 50-50 license, but eventually they're going to have all the crowds. For example, the Gold Coast. So I'm a Titans fan. This is why I have a real hatred for North Sydney Bears. Is because they've done this to us multiple times and tried to get us kicked out multiple times or merge with us to eventually kick us out. So what they'll do is they'll join and then they'll have, say, the Gold Coast and North Sydney, and they'll have half the games here, half the games there. And then eventually you'll see crowds not so great here, even though we had pretty good crowd this year. We were top 8 for crowds this year, the Titans. And then down there, they'll have sold-out crowds. And they'll be like, oh, you're not bringing enough money to the table. We're putting more money here. We're getting more crowds here. We're going to take a little bit more games. We're going to go 3/4 games down here, and you'll have a quarter of the games. And you see where it's transgressing? Eventually, they'll slide them out. Look at Manly, look at Northern Eagles, look at what the Dragons are slightly kind of doing right now with Wollongong. It's something that North Sydney would absolutely be planning for, and it's really great. I know for a fact that the Titans are going nowhere. No chance. I've spoken to ownership. I know for a fact that nothing's happening in regards to that, and the Bears, literally, Dal Kelly laughed when I spoke to him about it. He laughed. But that's why I have such pure hatred for this club, because they try to bring you down at your expense so that they can obviously build themselves up. That's why I don't like them. JB says the Samoa game at 12 tomorrow. It's at 11:30 p.m. AEST, Muppet time 12:30 a.m., 1:30 a.m. for Fiji, and 2:30 a.m. for New Zealand. But I'll be streaming live an hour beforehand at 10:30 p.m. Six fans, don't get me started on North Sydney. Oh, mate, I can't guarantee you I dislike them more than you do. Timmy Carr says, should be soon, surely. PSV says, Samoa beats Tonga, I'm going to paint my face blue for the whole day. Mate, get around it. Get around it. Society Lossie says, would have swapped the Samoa on 1 or 2 around. I agree. I said that as well. I said this to you guys the other day. I agree. I think Hamiso should be the fullback and Joe Suwali should be the wing. Riley Kappa says, fair enough, mate. That's just my personal opinion. Like, don't get me wrong. If people want to have, North Sydney Bears in the comp, you be my guest and you fight your battle. But I have my reasons, and Titans fans have our reasons for disliking that scumbag club. But in the same sense, it will just create a good rivalry, but don't want anything to do with us. If they want to merge with Perth, cool. I'll hate you too, Perth. JB says, streaming on Foxtel or KO. Station. JB says, streaming on Foxtel KO. I think, Foxtel is KO. Foxtel and KO are the same thing. Station says, the Bears were shit anyway, don't bring those flogs back. Oh, dear. No, dear. You said it, not me. The Bears have a really strong supporter base, man. I know what I'm opening myself up to when I insult them like I do. But I'm aware of that now. I'm aware of what I say and why I say things. David Tupou says your top 5 fastest NRL players. Right now, Adokar, Hamiso. I've got to scroll through all the players right now. Hamiso, Adokar, Jojo Fafita is up there as well. People don't recognise that. Jojo Fafita nearly caught Adokar. Even Philip Sammy caught Adokar, mind you. But I wouldn't put him there. I'd put Jojo, Adokar, Hamiso. Who's another 2 that I'm not thinking about right now? Who's another 2? Jimmy said, I think Samoa's get overhyped is because Samoa has never had this good of a backline. This is their prime. Is this their prime, though? I think their prime could be the next World Cup. Oh, Jason Saab? Yes, David, but he's also kind of a shit winger. But he's also a very fast winger, which I guess is what we're talking about. He's not that great of a winger, but he's a fast winger. But Saab's there, so that's top 4. And then what's the 5th one? But I don't agree with this being Samoa's spine. This being their prime. I think their prime is the next World Cup. I think their next World Cup is their prime. Luai will be raring to go. I think they're 7. They'll probably throw in somebody else over Milford. They'll probably have better forwards. I think that you'll find that their backline will be all a lot more experienced. Suwali will probably still be the fullback there, and Hamiso, they'll probably be the exact same spine. Backline. Probably the exact same backline. Sylvester Lola here says Fido, Adokar, Saab, Coates. Jojo Fafita, you've got to put in there, bro. Jojo Fafita is absolutely up there. Jojo Fafita is faster than Coates for one. And I would say... Oh, Ezra Mann's pretty fast too, mind you. He can get pretty fast, but he's not like those guys. Black Punisher says, what are you going to stream on YouTube or Discord or something? I stream here, mate. Society Say Lossie says, Joe Fafita looking to play for Tonga, New Zealand or Australia? It's a good question. So, I know Jojo. I'll ask him the next time I see him. It's a good question, actually. I think maybe he'll play for New Zealand. I think, but that's if he obviously gets to that stage, which I think he can. But I think that if he played, he probably plays for New Zealand. I'm not sure, though. But I would take a educated guess at New Zealand. His dad used to play rugby for the... who was his? Who did he play for again? I spoke to him in depth. I don't know his dad. I spoke to him in depth for a few hours, actually. Who was the team? It might be the Highlanders. His dad used to play for the Highlanders. I can't remember. But I think maybe, yeah, New Zealand. I think probably New Zealand. QFT, what's your thoughts on a Western and Eastern Conference style competition similar to NFL? NRL could add teams from Perth and PNG or other Pacific Islands. I like it. I do. And I think it actually does work out. But I think there's a lot of things that need to be worked out for that to happen, though. Soap Collect says Dominic Young is big for England, though. Yeah, he is. He is. He's a good player, man. Super League Wars did script a lot of team territory, but yeah, QFT, I like it, man. I've always been a big fan of that. Like, you add in the non-New South Wales teams. So you basically, it wouldn't be East and Western. It would be New South Wales versus non-New South Wales, because obviously all the other teams, you can have a New South Wales conference and then so look, let's go, for example, right? You got, in the one conference, you would have Panthers, Eels, Dragons, Sharks, Tigers, Bulldogs, Rabbitohs, Roosters. I think that's the 8 teams there. You put Newcastle there too, because they're in New South Wales. And no, maybe you might not put Newcastle. Oh, sorry, Manly is one as well. You got to throw in there, and then maybe the Raiders. So that's 10 teams there. Or you just do those city teams, and then you have Storm, Perth, Dolphins, Titans, Broncos, Cowboys, Warriors. And then you could put in Newcastle because they're their own area. And maybe you could have 9-9, sorry. So you actually take Raiders away from Sydney. You just have the Sydney-based teams and then everybody else on the other side. David says, there's a rumour that Tino said after the Rugby League World Cup he could put on a Samoan jersey for the next Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, there's potential for that. There is potential for that. Snubbers guys are Savage, Young, Saab, Fafita, Cobbo, and Hammer. Well, that's 6. I would say take Dom Young. I wouldn't put him in the top 5. For speed, but he's a fast player, but I wouldn't put him top 5. Epa Tongan says, let's go Tonga. Getting around it. Jared Toy says, when is the World Cup starting? Literally tomorrow night, mate. 24 hours. But bro, what you mean, brother? Like, man, what you thinking? He says it here, Jumbo. Hello. He says it here one day. My bad man, dearie me. Society Say Lossy says, has Milford been signed for next year? Yeah, to the Dolphins. We're going to stick around for another 17 or so minutes here, guys. We're going to check one more time and see if that Italy-Scotland lineup has dropped yet. But hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're around here. Like I said, we'll be streaming literally every single game live here on the channel, so definitely get around it. And tomorrow night we'll be rocking and rolling, son. We'll be rocking and rolling for a big one. We'll be rocking and rolling for a big one here. It's going to be huge. We'll be up live an hour beforehand too. Tom Jones says there are Samoan players in Aussie and New Zealand teams such as Tino, Jeremiah, here we go. Tino, Jeremiah, Murray, Asafa, Leota, Brown, Ronaldo. I don't think any of these players will make the current Samoa team apart from Tino. That has got to be one of the most wild statements that I have seen. So, okay, let's go through this individually. So, Tino makes it no questions asked into that team. Tino makes it no questions asked. Jeremiah Nanai absolutely makes it over Tuolangi or Jaden Sewer. Oh, God. Bro, absolutely over Jaden Sewer or Tuolangi. Jeremiah Nanai absolutely does. Murray Talangi would get the wing spot of Hamiso because Murray Talangi is the wing at the Cowboys. Hamiso can't even get a spot there, so now he's moving to the Dolphins. Murray Talangi gets the wing spot. Hamiso is potentially the 14 there, realistically, but he's not. Murray Talangi gets that. Sofa Salamona, maybe bench. He's not going to start over Papali'i, Paulo, or Tino. I would say that Papali'i wouldn't start over Tino. I think Papali'i will be off. Paulo will be the starter alongside Tino. And I think Papali'i would go to the bench. But I don't know if Nelson fits onto the team. Leota, wild. He'll be in the team. He'll be on the bench. Actually, you could even argue that it would be Junior Paulo and Mose Leota. No, I think Tino still gets it. I do. I think Tino still gets it. Dylan Brown, you're at... Oh, that's a big one, though. Dylan Brown's a shout because I think Jerome Luai probably does get it instead. I think Jerome Luai is probably the only one there that I can agree with that keeps Dylan Brown out. Ronaldo Molatalo would go in over Murray Talangi, to be honest with you. Ronaldo Molatalo beats out Hamisa Tawaifedo and also Murray Talangi. But I can't believe you just said I don't think any of these players make the current Samoa team apart from Tino. I think that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Most of those players make this team. 2 of those players in the same position go above Hamiso. Top 3 worst NRL media personalities. And Blocker Roach, and Blocker Roach. How many hours, minutes, and seconds, though? Muppet. To Goat says, it's weird, not really worried about Samoa's perimeter defense because they're actually good this time. England will have to score through the middle. Yeah, I agree. Daniel Bates says, sub and like or your country won't get out of the pool. It's correct. You are correct, yeah. Snobs guys, did you see Kalaki's post a bit ago? It said Young was second fastest when he goes full pace. He's too quick, and Karaz says Young was faster than NRL. Okay, well, we haven't seen it yet. Okay, when we see it, I'll agree with you. Society say Loss, he says, really hard to see who will play for Tonga in 2025. Wolf and Tamalolo, very influential. Let's hope we keep the young kids. I just want someone who's not Matt Parrish at the helm of Samoa. I just want someone who's not Matt Parrish ahead of this team. That's all I want. Because I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him. May over Hammer and Talangi. May. Oh, and Taylor May. I think Talangi gets in over Taylor May, Roranoro Zoro. I think maybe that's a perspective thing, though. But I think that Talangi gets in over May. But Ronaldo Mulatalo will go in over all 4 of those. All 4 of them. Sachin Kelton says, I think Italy released their team on Instagram. Best Sport, I'm not going to be here shitting on other content creators, bro. Sachin Kelton says, I think Italy released their team on Instagram. Did they really? Well, hopefully maybe you'll see here. Maybe this has been updated. Maybe. No. Well, let's go have a look at the team on here. Let's go have a look here. Let's go have a look. Apparently on Instagram, Italy have put it out. Let's go have a look. Like I said, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. But let's go. So Italy. Don't forget, guys, go and follow me on BK Sport on Instagram as well. Okay, they have. All right. So 1 is Luke Polselli, 2 Richard Lapori, and 5 Jake Mason. Oh, good. And number 6, Ethan Natoli and Daniel Atkinson in the centres. They got Jack Campagnolo. I like Jack Campagnolo from the Rabbitohs in the number 6 jersey, which is the 5'8". Radine Robinson in the 7. You got Anton Laria and Luca Moretti in the front row. So Luca Moretti is a guy who's always on the extended bench for Parramatta Eels. I spoke about him in my players to watch video. You've got Dean Parada in the 9. Ryan King and Brendan Santi in the back row. And then captain is Nathan Brown from the Parramatta Squeals. Then you got the interchange, Joey Tramontana, Gioli Celerino, Luke Hodge, Jack Colavati, with the 18th and 19th men being Kyle Pickering and Roddy Palumbo. So that is the team lineup there, guys. That is the team lineup for the Italians. Most destructive 4-pack, Matama'a Tonga, says Maliami Taunaholo. I would say maybe second. I would say New Zealand's the best. Maliami. I would say that the most destructive 4-pack would be New Zealand. But I think that Tonga is quite equal with Australia in regards to second. I would say that Tonga is probably the second best, actually. In regards to 4-pack, I'd say Australia maybe third. It'll be interesting to compare those two. David says Tonga has at least one of the best 4-pack in the Rugby League World Cup, like first, second. I would say second. I'd say second is what I would say for Tonga. New Zealand's 4-pack is incredible, and the depth they have is wild. Daniel Bates says, I hope England don't pick Chris Hill. He should have retired. So this is who they've picked. They haven't picked Andy Ackers, Daniel. They did not pick Andy Ackers, which has frustrated the shit out of me. They have not picked him. He's not in the team. So yeah, Chris Hill's not here. Chris Hill, not here, mate. Don't even know who that is, mind you. Sylvester says, damn, Chris Hill's still around. Chris Hill not here. Not here, mate. Thabay says, will Tamalolo be available for Tonga's second game? Third game, not the second game. Third game. Sports House says, let's go to the Fiji Butty. Taylor Dotto says, the underdog team in the World Cup. PNG. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea, the underdog team. Tom Jones says, I would have Wayne Bennett or Cleary as Samoa next coach if they made it. Who's the England coach? It's not Bennett. No, Bennett's too old now, man. I think Bennett was coaching England for a little bit, wasn't he? Who's the England coach now? Because Bennett did coach England for a bit. Maybe, was he the coach of their last World Cup? I'm not sure. When was Bennett their coach? Denave says, wow, no Ackers. Hill, Warrington, property. He's good, but a bit old now. George Irama Jr. says, I'm going to log out now. Thank you for your channel and chatting with the other viewers. See you on your next live. And yes, Gutla Night Lo You from Papua New Guinea. Appreciate you, dude. Hopefully you're here tomorrow night. Even though it's not Papua New Guinea, like I said, we'll be streaming every game, but we'll be here. Samoa, England, tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. AEST. Going to be absolutely massive. And then we're also streaming tomorrow night, Australia versus Fiji, but that'll be at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, prop, not property. Yeah, I was thinking probably prop. We'll be here for 9 more minutes, guys. We're going to jump off in 9 minutes. We've been going for about roughly 2 hours now, so we'll go for 9 more minutes of questions and chatting. Bennett 2017 World Cup. Let's go Google this. When was Wayne Bennett the coach of England? Coach of England Rugby League. Rugby League. Coach of England Rugby League is Sean Wayne. But I want to see... Oh, it's 2016 and 2020. So yeah, he was the World Cup coach of the last English team. Where is it? Here we go. Tony Smith, Stephen McNamara, and then Wayne Bennett, 2016 and 2020. He had 11 games for 7 wins. 7 wins and 4 losses. Best Sport 2.0 was Hastings injured still or not picked for England? I don't think Hastings was ever going to be picked for England. They have Georgie Williams. They have Georgie Williams there. Hastings was never going to be picked. Tom says, thanks mate, enjoyed the session. Maybe the best teams win. Money's on Samoa and Tonga for me. Sign off now. Wow, big call. Unless you're talking about the individual games. Big call for them to be actually winning the entire thing. But I get you. Well, to be fair, look, I think we should all just jump off. I think we all have had a good old chat tonight. So I think we all... regather tomorrow for a big old day. A big old day there. I agree. Hastings had a good year for the Tigers, but he's not going to be beating out Georgie Williams there. It's not going to be out Georgie Williams. But I do appreciate you guys. So hit that thumbs up button. Like I said, we're so close to 20,000 guys. It is super duper close. So subscribe if you're new around here. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Samoa and England. The Rugby League World Cup is going to be a big one, baby. It's going to be a big one. Alrighty, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.